live on Pop Culture Breakdown. Welcome, my friends. Welcome. This is going to be a very, very interesting episode. I'm really looking forward to our discussion today about South Park joining the Panderverse and about a scathing expose that was published in Variety today about Marvel in crisis and all of the terrible shit going on behind the scenes and proving that once again, hashtag Doomcock was right. Because I'm telling you, some of the stuff that I was told by my spies is coming to fruition. I'm very, very excited about it. I'm also excited to be 3D once again. As you know, KK was hiding under my bed and turned us all into cartoons. Tried to turn us into gay chicks, but that didn't work because of the intense levels of testosterone in Xanadu. However, I am nervous because Omnivac turned us back, and I think he's working on a way to turn us back again into 2D animation form. He's always looking for an edge up. I got to give him credit. He turned us back, but he may turn us back again. So anyway, for right now, I'm myself. I'm alive, and I'm grateful to be alive. And holy shoot, Mercer Holt with a $200 super chat. Ooh. Mercer, God bless you, sir. You are an executive producer of the next two Pop Culture Breakdowns. Holy smokes, Mercer. Thank you, sir. Mercer Holt, God bless you, my friend. Thank you. Wow, I will be reading that on the break, but I just wanted to acknowledge that because that was extremely generous of you. Okay, let's go ahead and talk to my panel of pop culture pundits here, shall we? All right, whoops. There we go. Okay, damn it. Omnivac! Fucking asshole. All right. We've got Gary Ambrosia looking dapper in a very nice shirt. I don't know, man. That's just exactly the kind of shirt I would buy if I was out and about shopping. How are you, Gary? What's up?
I'm hanging in there. How are you doing?
I'm barely hanging in, man. Rough Halloween, and today I don't know. I don't know if it's allergies or I'm just actually sick. I don't know.
That happens when you go from cardboard cutout back to human form.
Maybe so.
In a few days, yeah.
Maybe that may damn well be the case. Yes. But I got all of my, I get by with a little help from my friends, as the Beatles wrote, and you guys are my friends. Robert Wright, how are you, Robert? I see you've got your Texas Rangers jersey on there.
Yep, fingers crossed. No scores, guys. I'm taping
no scores, folks. No scores.
Yeah,
we don't want to know.
Yeah.
So
do not look at the chat. Whatever you do.
Yes, please, chat. Do not give sports scores, please. Please do not. And wrenches, delete them if you see them, please. Mexican Iron Man, hail to you, Mexican Iron Man. It's great to see you, buddy. How you doing?
Thanks for having me, boss. Great to be here with you. Your video was just immensely entertaining. With the animation that you did, it was just awesome.
Oh, thank you, man.
I don't know how you did it. It was so freaking good. But thanks for having me. We got some late breaking news even after the email that I sent you. We'll get into Disney and other topics, I'm sure. So
outstanding. Yes, we're definitely going to do that, Mike. And I can't wait to hear what the late breaking news is. Jesus, the news is flying fast and furious today. Which is not good because I've been feeling like shit all day and haven't even. Also, I've been having trouble with my computer anyway. Thank you, Mexican Iron Man. Nick of Echo Base Network, EBN, no longer affiliated with Star Wars. How you doing, Nick?
I'm doing great. I am up, not financial advice, but I am up $5,000 in crypto in this past month. And it freaking soared for me today. So I'm in actually a pretty good mood right now.
Ooh.
Check mine.
Holy shit.
Yeah, there's one called Solana that's just been going nuts. That's been killing it for me. But other than that, Coach and I just cranking out videos on other things other than Star Wars. We'll still occasionally hit some Star Wars news, of course, if it's something if it's something good, or something that's hot. But yeah, we're pretty much kind of moving away from Disney Star Wars stuff because Disney Star Wars sucks.
It sucks. It just plain sucks. That's just all there is to it. The jury is in. The verdict is out. It sucks. So there's just no pussyfooting around it anymore. The goddamn shit sucks. And Marvel sucks too. But we're going to talk about that. Evil Fet for Hire. Hail for Fet for Hire. It is wonderful to have you on the show. Very special guest, folks. He does so much wonderful things for Xanadu. His artwork is astounding.
Yes.
And it's great to have you here, Fet for Hire.
Hey, old DC. Hey, Xanadu. Great to be back with you again. And let me just say what you said earlier about if somebody wanted to turn me into a 2D gay chick, all you got to worry about is making me the chick because I'd already be gay because I love me them women. Just saying.
That's right. That's right. I am. Inside me, there is a lesbian just crying to get out. It's always been the case. Always been the case. Jesus, if I was a chick and I was halfway good looking, the videos I would make for my own enjoyment. just the full length mirror. I would never have to leave again.
Harvey, have a more about that?
I would be a narcissistic lesbian videographer. I'd be my OnlyFans subscriber. I'd be my only OnlyFans subscriber. I'd pay myself $100 a video, $200. God damn it. That's how hot I'd be.
We are birds of a feather, DC.
Exactly. And speaking of great artists, we are honored to have Douglas Nelson, aka Mr. Nailson. Douglas, it's great to have you, and it was also great to know that you got good news last week, and
yes.
I'm really happy.
Yeah, me too. It's also good to know that the Force is lesbian.
Exactly.
That's something to look forward to.
Of course.
But it's great to have you, man. Welcome.
It's good to be
show.
back.
So let's I'm torn. There's so much to talk about that I'm a little bit torn. Let's go to the breakdown. I want to talk about the Panderverse, South Park joining the Panderverse. But first, let's start out with something immensely satisfying, folks. I did a video a while back with my Hollywood spies saying that there was in case of emergency, break glass plan to be able to bring back Black Widow and Iron Man. Tony Stark as Iron Man. My spies said that there was the second snap in Endgame, and the second snap they could retcon it so it was actually Tony Stark setting everything back the way it was. In other words, we've been living in a universe from the Hulk's first snap in Endgame, and we haven't even seen the second snap universe. Which would be, all of the stars returning in their old roles and basically bailing out on Feige's, kafucking of the Marvel cinematic universe. Well, Variety has confirmed that they haven't given the mechanism, but I'm telling you that is the mechanism that they're considering. And they're thinking about it. Now they're saying Marvel hasn't committed to this, but they will. They will. If they're probably just lying and just trying to play it close to the vest. But boy, when the Marvels comes and bombs spectacularly, they'll commit to it. The only problem is, that Downey, Robert Downey Jr. and Scarlett Johansson are so fucking expensive that they're worried about it. But I don't know why they're fucking worried about spending, $25 million on Robert Downey Jr. and Scarlett Johansson. I mean, shit. Variety has also revealed, guess what, folks? Every fucking episode of She-Hulk cost right about $25 million fucking dollars.
Ooh.
$25 million an episode of She-Hulk, which cost more than Game of Thrones at the height of its popularity, at the height of the guest star, at the height of its FOMO, like fear of missing out, more than that. And what do you have to show for it? She-Hulk twerking and shit.
Yep.
Wow.
She-Hulk fucking twerking. What the fuck did they spend it on? Well, I'll tell you, folks. According to this expose in Variety, it was reshoots. It was reshoots, and it was the fact that they weren't competent enough to write scripts. Now, what have I fucking said? What have I harped on more than anything else? I say, God damn it. At least hire writers that know what the fuck they're doing. RC says, no way, it cost $25 million. This is not from my Hollywood Spies. This is from Variety. They're not just going to pull that number out their ass. $25 million an episode due to all the incompetence. And I'll read you a little bit of that. But Gary, what do you think of this shit?
I think it's laughable, but what I'm really wondering is how much money they spent to replicate your helmet. Probably about $1 million. They're like, that Doomcock bastard, make one of him. Okay, what's the budget for that? Just throw $1 million at it, all right?
Yeah, it didn't really work.
Where the fuck is that money going? Where does that $25 million go?
Well, let me tell you, Gary, She-Hulk VFX issues, and they had a lot of them, are a symptom of a deeper rot, says Variety, namely a lack of oversight on script development. In the original arc of She-Hulk, a flashback of, She-Hulk's transformation into, her Hulk character didn't take place until episode 8. And there were 9 episodes, to answer your question. 8 was the penultimate episode. But after Marvel's Brain Trust watched footage, it realized the scene needed to happen in the pilot episode so that audiences could see more of the character's backstory early. That meant that the visual effects team was tasked with fixing the mess in post-production. The so-called bad VFX we see was because of half-baked scripts, says one person anonymously involved with She-Hulk. Mm-hmm. That is not Victoria Alonso. That is Kevin Feige. And even above Kevin, those issues should be addressed in pre-production. The timeline is not allowing the Marvel executives to sit with the material. So all the while, Marvel was bleeding money with a single episode of She-Hulk costing some $25 million, dwarfing the budget of a final season episode of HBO's Game of Thrones. The August 2022 series premiere at the El Capitan Theater of She-Hulk foreshadowed what was to come 6 months later at the Quantumania bow. The She-Hulk special effects were out of focus in multiple scenes.
Oh my God. Oh man.
Oh my God.
Wow.
But they said they meant to do it that way.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. They said, yeah, we know it's bad. That was on purpose.
Right. They said that.
That was the deal, see?
That was to strike a blow to the patriarchy. So
right.
They're all going blind.
By embarrassing yourselves. Oh, that's great.
$25 billion per fake Doomcock helmet. So they had 2 of them in there. So
yeah, there was a stunt one,
Yeah,
The whole time you were talking about that,
they had a fluffer over in the corner. You know how it is.
That's where the $20 million went.
That's where the $20 million went. Yeah. But so anyway, as far as the part about Doomcock being right, sources say there have been talks to bring back the original gang for an Avengers movie, exactly as my spies predicted months ago. This would include reviving Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man and Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow, both of whom were killed off in Endgame. That shouldn't be a stumbling block. In comic books, Beloved characters are often killed off, only to be resurrected thanks to the power of things like the multiverse. But the studio hasn't yet committed to the idea. Get this. If it were able to bring these actors back, it wouldn't come cheap. Sources say Downey Jr.'s upfront salary for Iron Man 3 was around $25 million. So
Wow.
they could have done 9 Robert Downey Jr. movies with what they spent on fucking She-Hulk. That's unfucking believable.
Wow.
Go and check it out, folks. The key has to do with the snap. I did a thing that's saying that Marvel has that in case of emergency break glass strategy. And I said this in the video. Go and check it out. For those of you who hear people saying Doomcock makes stuff up, well, guess what? They are basically the way that they'll do it, more likely than not, is there was a second snap in Endgame. It was Tony Stark's snap. And that snap is what they will use to reset everything back to the way it was. See, the idea is that everything that we've seen has been off of the Hulk's snap, the first snap. We've been in the universe from the Hulk's snap. We haven't even seen Tony Stark's snap universe, which is basically everything is back to normal. So there you go, folks. It's Doomcock was right. Mike, what did you think of this when you saw it?
Well, I got to tell you, I remember being on this show. I don't remember. We talked about this on this show, and I never doubt my overlord. My overlord is right way more often than anyone ever gives you credit for. But I thought it was a crazy idea. And then when I saw the article thing, I was just like, oh my God, we talked about this. And you did a video on this, and you talked about it on the show one time. I thought it was a crazy idea then. I think it's a crazy idea now. And it shows two things to me. Number one, they are without creative conviction. It shows that they're without creative conviction. They're without talent. And what's probably driving them nuts is realizing that, holy crap, we're going to have to go back to the pre-Stunning and Brave era of superhero movies. And that's just got to burn the snot out of them. It also says is that, guess what? Our economic results of not watching a lot of this crap is starting to freaking finally pay off.
Damn right. Right.
Seriously, it's like, if this isn't a sign, like you, I know you're not feeling well. I know you're a little under the weather. But we've lost some wars. We lost the Star Trek was a battle lost. Kurtzman's still there. But in terms of the overall war, you should feel real good about yourself, because I think this is a win.
I do. I mean, I feel like,
it's
this is a confession of abject failure on their part.
It's a clear win. This is a clear win.
Yep. I really do think so. This is the trend is away from woke. And once again, as it must be eventually, towards profit. And time only will tell if they can revive their kind of strategy for profit. Douglas, what do you think about all this?
Well, I mean, I think there was always something in the works for Secret Wars to be the reboot movie of some sort, and wanting to get the original team back for that. And I think some form or fashion that's inevitable. It's just a matter of where do you go afterwards, you know. I mean, I would have thought that, you know, I mean, the problem they did is they had a fairly decent send-off for their originals, but then they followed it with absolute crap. And the idea is it's akin to like the comic books themselves. After a while, they do a little reboot thing to explain, you know, why everyone's still young and everything, you know, that sort of thing, you know,
right.
Living in contemporary times. And so eventually you would lead to a recast. They can't continue on for more Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man movies. We all get old. I mean, Scarlett Johansson's got some years in her, you know? And they could have done. They should have given her more of a Black Widow series and all that. You know, shoulda, coulda, woulda. Yeah. And so ultimately, they'll have to get to a recast. It's just at this point with the reboot, they now have Fantastic Four and the X-Men, and provided they get some actual decent writers those can bolster it as well. And so I don't know how long they could keep the old actors in those roles going forward. That's the only stumbling block, and that's just a matter of circumstance, rather than
of course
compounded now by their failures, of course. But the main thing right now is they've got to save those properties, and of course the Daredevil series that another one they're going to had at least they put the brakes. Well, no, they did. They shot some stuff and they had to scrap.
They shot a lot of it. They shot about half the show.
Exactly. So they keep putting themselves in the position of reshooting everything over and over and over again. When you need to, it's called a script. You have a certain direction. You agree. Okay, this is good. It's not like, oh, this will be a cool scene and we'll fill it up with silly jokes and soap opera stuff. No, you've got to map that out. And with the, with the massive amount of money they burnt, I don't, even with the best of intentions, I don't know that they can succeed. But
I know they can't. They're just so hosed. Feige never learned the lesson. Mr. Feige, Mr. Big Shot producer, here's a little instruction for you. You start out with a script and you make sure it's a good script, and you don't film anything until the script is finalized. How's that?
Who would have known?
Go.
Who would have known?
I know that's not standard procedure, right, Gary? Nobody's ever done it like that before. I'm a visionary.
It's pretty edgy what you're suggesting. I mean, really, you're talking about people planning and thinking before they act, and that's wow, man. You're
right.
You are a pioneer.
Committing to an actual story that makes everyone excited and builds to a climax that is, supported by all the things that happen, instead of just randomly like shooting shit and slapping it together and hoping that nobody notices how it sucks. Right.
Yeah.
Let's see. Nick, what do you think of all this?
Well, a couple things. When you're talking about all this and talking about what they spent on She-Hulk and all that, I was picturing a clip from a movie called Cliffhanger, where Sylvester Stallone is up on the mountain trying to stay warm, and he's taking piles of money and chunking it into the fire. That's Disney taking money and just chunking it into the fire. Not only with She-Hulk and all this other stuff they're doing, but supposedly that now they're greenlighting Ahsoka 2, which is just burning more money. And it's just everything they're doing is just on a downward spiral, and they're just throwing money away. I don't understand how a company like Disney can just continuously lose money like that as their stock is plummeting. It just doesn't make any sense. As far as Robert Downey Jr. and Scarlett Johansson or any of the other original people coming back, man, talk about slapping that easy button and trying to get people back in the theaters to watch their garbage. But Robert Downey Jr. has been on record of saying he has no interest in reprising that role of Iron Man. Wow. He had his time, and he has no interest. The character story had a start, middle, and finish, and he's done with it. Scarlett Johansson absolutely hates Disney. The lawsuit she filed, I mean, she's not happy with them. I don't see her wanting to ever come back and work with them. So as far as them coming back ever, man, I would be shocked and surprised if it actually happened. I don't think either one of those two. I don't even think Chris Evans would come back. He might be one that might do it out of all of them. He might be the one that could possibly come back. But man, I don't see it happening. Like, I think their easy button literally needs to be them stopping all future productions, saying everything is done. After the Marvels, all future projects are canceled. Any that are in production, whatever, we're stopping. We're done. Take the next 5 years, get people in there that know Marvel Comics, no Fantastic Four, no X-Men, no all these other great characters that people grew up with, and actually start planning out another brand new Marvel Cinematic Universe, because this one right now is dead. I have no interest in seeing any continuation in this universe, me personally. And I think once the box office numbers come out for the Marvels, you'll see a lot of other people don't really have much interest in the current MCU either. So I don't know. Time will tell, but I think they just literally need to halt everything. But they're a corporation. They're trying to get money, and they're just going to try to keep pumping out crap and hoping that it sticks. You know, I don't know at what point in time they'll learn the lesson, but I don't know. We'll see.
Well, when Variety publishes an article called Marvel in Crisis, and then exposes all this shit behind the scenes, that's probably the point, especially after South Park just eviscerated Disney and KK big time, and we'll see how that goes. But Robert, what do you think about this? Anything to comment on this?
Oh yeah, it's interesting that they do it, because they're almost finally admitting the mistakes they made. However, I agree with Nick. You know, they need to probably reboot it, and that what they did with this Marvel universe up until Endgame was they set everything up where each person had their own character-driven hero movie, and in the closing credits, they gave you the hints of the Avengers and the team coming together and the Infinity Stones, and they built it out. They planned it all out. What they need to do is they need to take some time off and plan it all out and do individual character-driven movies. I don't know if you bring back the original cast, if you'll get the oomph that you need to move it forward to Secret Wars, when you can maybe take a few years off, start it over, and use your new properties of the Fantastic Four and X-Men, along with some of your original characters, maybe recast them as a different universe and create something that's good. I mean, the real problem here is we haven't had quality storytelling in any of this stuff that we've gotten since Endgame, really. So that's the problem there.
100%. I agree with that. Fed for Hire, what is your take, oh evil genius? What do you think about all this shit?
Well, I would prefer not to see like the original cast and stuff come back in, because their MO has always been to, when something's failing, you know, bring in, you know, the old people, you know, restoke your sense of nostalgia, get you hooked again, and then start slipping all the woke garbage in. So I would rather see them start from scratch, you know, have to build the stories, build the characters and stuff like that, rather than resorting to their old tactics. But I do believe it is a victory in the war on woke, and a victory for sane people everywhere. But my question is about the reshoots on She-Hulk. If they spent all that money on reshoots, why is it still Shit-Hulk?
Because they can't write worth of shit. They can't write their way out of a fucking paper bag. Look, they can do another Avengers. They can do, you know, go back to first base and start over, reboot the whole thing. But they need to get rid of every fucking writer that they have had in the last couple of years, because 100%. They all stink. They stink. They don't know the craft of screenwriting. They don't have a goddamn idea how to build to a climax. They don't have any focus. All they care about is agenda and, you know, putting chicks in and making them gay. That's it. That's it. And that doesn't sell. That doesn't put asses in seats. Okay. Unless it's an Axel Braun, you know, gay chicks, in which that's different. But that's not what Disney's doing. They're not giving you the happy ending. You know what I mean? They say that Disney's the happiest place on earth, but they don't get the kind of happy ending that Axel Braun, you know, will give you in his porn parodies. I'm just saying. All right. But I think this is great vindication. I think that they are scrambling. I think they're fucking reeling. They're reeling at this point, people. They are reeling because, you know, South Park has come after them. The stock market is fucking after them. You know, Variety now is after them. This shit is just getting worse and worse. It's just getting to be a goddamn embarrassment for them. Andy Masterson, welcome to the show. Anything to say about this? And then we're going to go to Mike because he said he had some breaking news here. Go ahead, Andy.
Gee, me and Marvel? Oh, yeah, I might have a couple things to say.
Go ahead.
Okay, Disney's really screwed because nobody wants to work with them. The special effects people don't want to work with them. The writers don't want to work with them. You can see that with Daredevil. The one guy they got to come back to run the Daredevil show, he only wrote a couple episodes of The Punisher, and they it wasn't like the Punisher wasn't the greatest of. He was better in the Daredevil season 2 than he was in his own series, but it wasn't a fabulous hit. I don't think anybody wants to touch Disney with a 10-foot pole, which is why they've been resorting to Rick and Morty writers. You're not going to have anybody with any talent that's going to go into them because they know what they do. They've poisoned the well so much that anything attached to Disney is sort of already smelling like day old shit in a skunk bag. I don't think you're going to find anybody. And what are you going to do for talent? I mean, they don't have any money now. Like they would have to hit like home run after home run to knock this thing out of the park, and nobody's got the interest in it. If you had in maybe 5 years, and that's being generous, and you had a great cast, you had great writers, and you had somebody put together a comic book story that actually knew comic books. And I don't know that you have anybody like that. I mean, look at all the problems that DC's having with just introducing James Gunn's ideas, and James Gunn is a comic book guy. There's not enough people out there that really have the talent and the knowledge of the comic book base and the faith to do it justice, to do the classic stories that have lasted for decades. That's what sells the books. If you look at the original MCU, they changed some of the details of the characters, but the characterizations were everything you saw on the page brought into life. Every one of those characters was a good depiction of how they were in the comic books as far as the character goes. Now, they want to change all that. They don't like those characters. As I said before, they identify more with the villains. They're willing to do anything they have to do to get their message across. Now, I don't know how many of these people would just camouflage themselves and hide underneath, oh yeah, I'm not woke at all. And yet they're still going to try and put things in there, because it all comes down to the people doing the hiring. If this is going to change, you're going to have to get like Peltz and Perlmutter going in there with this massive stock thing, clean house, and pretty much nuke it and start from scratch. And you see how long it's taking James Gunn to get his movies up and running with that. So if that happened tomorrow, you're talking at least 5 years before you can get anything onto a screen, because it's got to be developed, written, plotted out, have a design for it, and then maybe start filming it. And who knows how long this actor strike's going to go on. So right. I don't see it. And the thing about Disney is they don't have anything on the horizon. Everything that they have is in decline. I was just talking with somebody the other day about this. We were talking about theme parks and how in the theme parks you have Universal is going for all the video game stuff. Well, that's the kids that grew up on Nintendo are having kids now, and they want to take the kids to the parks to see the stuff that they grew up on, and to see the stuff that they want to pass on to their kids. And it's not the Disney princesses, like, no matter how good his mustache is. It's not a matter of them having anything to fall back. There's nothing around the corner that's driving people to go into there. And you add to that rising ticket prices, you're just pushing people at the door. If there was a book on what not to do in your entertainment franchises and parks, Disney's writing it. And if there's anybody smart out there, and the sad part is, all they had to do was not criticize the YouTubers, but listen.
Yeah, right. We're the customers.
Yeah.
We're the fucking customers. So
we I mean,
oh, wow,
de
nice.
La Muerte Mexican Iron Man.
Look at that.
Wow, that's
well
cool.
done, sir.
Wow.
Well done.
Looks fantastic.
Wow,
Well,
he almost looks white.
Yeah, not only are YouTubers the customers and all of us the customers, but this is free marketing for them.
Right. Right. Well, I listen, I would be happy to praise. Look at the praise I did for Argyle, the trailer with Henry Cavill. If people give me anything to be excited about, I'll shout my head off about it. It's
my
just
God,
rare.
did you and I ever think the day would come where we'd be excited about a live action anime on the show?
No, that's the most exciting thing in pop culture right now, other than maybe Argyle coming out in February.
Yeah.
I really I am excited about that. But Mexican Iron Man, I thought you told me that there's some kind of breaking news or something.
Yeah, it's I got to bring this up because of how closely we follow Disney. But the Hollywood, the Deadline dropped an article, and then it was picked up by everybody and their mother, which is that Disney's buying a Comcast Hulu stake for at least $8.6 billion. And so this dropped auspiciously a week before the earnings call. Now, so what I find is interesting. So let me tell you what the news is and how I'm going to analyze this. So this hit in Deadline. This is just 4 hours ago. This hit Yahoo Finance. It's on the CBS wire. It's on the Bloomberg wire. Disney reaches $8.6 billion deal with Comcast to fully acquire Hulu. So that's the breaking news. Huh. What impact has that had? Not a lot.
Where are they getting the money?
Hold on. Before we get to the money part of it, let me tell you why this is. So this is everybody get excited.
Yay! Oh boy.
Yeah, of course, let me tell you why this is not a non-brainer. And not only is it's an antimatter brainer, because first of all, Disney and Hulu already had an agreement that the base level would be $8.6 billion. That's already the lowest price. It can go up from there, but it might go, but it can't go down from there. And so there's a put call option on this deal where basically what happened is, let's remember this show literally 4 weeks ago, maybe it was 5 weeks ago, where I told everybody, we talked about that the 30-day expiration period was coming and that we should expect something by the end of October. You remember that show? I was in California.
That's right.
And I said, by the end of October, we should be hearing something on what the deal is. Well, based upon me reading all these articles, what someone at Disney decided to do is, let's get the news out, guys. We're going to buy this thing. But we already knew that they either had to put up or Comcast has us out on the open market, right?
Right.
And so the reason why this is a non-brainer, and in my view, why people aren't being fooled by this on Wall Street and after hours trading, where we're still languishing at $81 a share, which, let's not forget, back in February, we're at 113. We're now languishing in the high 70s, low 80s. Is that number one? Is that article? I'm not going to read it on the show, but basically, it says that in the whoever issued this press release from the Disney side to all these news agencies, it literally states, well, whatever we decide the final process is, it could take up to a year still. But we went ahead and told them we definitely want to do this deal, and we just got to agree on the valuation. Well, duh, that was already you already had to agree on the valuation, and you either put up and said, yeah, I'm gonna take the first right of refusal, or you let Comcast go on the open market and potentially get more money. So Disney has officially said that. Well, we already knew that they're going to grab the other third of Hulu. And they said it's but they're positioning like it's an $8.6 billion. No, if you read a little deeper, two things. One, the valuation is strung out and will go way into next year. Number two is that the funny part of all of this, in my view, is that in the article, it actually admits that Comcast has not been giving Disney money to run this. So whatever price they come up with, Comcast is going to say, yeah, we'll adjust it for whatever we haven't been giving you, but you might as well increase it by the new valuation. So Comcast basically gets to sit back like this. Oh, I wonder what price we're going to come up with eventually, and it's going to be higher than $8.6 billion, people, number one. And number two is this eliminates one of the core questions. I've been saying on Midnight's Edge. I said this the other day with Andre and Tom and a couple other places, but I said there's three things that Bob has to get ready to talk about next week. One, dividend. Two, this Hulu deal. And three, he should really talk about Nelson Peltz. And so I think by them doing this is a preemptive strike where they're trying to take this off the board for conversation, where Bob is going to do something lame and dumb like he usually does. And he's going to say, well, as you may have seen our news last week, we let Comcast know that we're going to be picking up the other third of Hulu.
Right.
Duh.
Yeah.
So The reason why I say it's late breaking news is that I think it's hilarious that a week with literally 1 week to go, exactly 1 week, they dropped this press announcement to get buzz. And I know why they're doing it. They're trying to create excitement. But look, Doomcock, look at the screen. Wall Street is not fooled, and neither are we. Why? Because Wall Street is on to what you just talked about just now, that they're failing in movies, they're failing across the board, they're failing in TV. And I think the jig is up, and we cannot fall for fake news anymore. In my opinion.
Absolutely. But I see they wanted us to have this reaction of like, oh, so they're not paying 27 billion for their part. They're only paying 8. That's what like the assumption is to a layperson. Although not a lot of people are falling for that.
Yeah, I mean, all of Hulu's worth about a little over 27 million, and roughly a third of that is 27 billion. A third of that is 9 billion. So you're almost right there. So,
yep. And Robert Kraut was saying, "Can we get a Hank Hill? Dang it, Bob! Here you go.
Dang it, Bob! Boy, I tell you what, you're really screwing the pooch, boy.
There you go. There's
dang it, Bob.
By request. Well, so yeah, I think they're going to pay a lot more than that. I think you're exactly right. I think they're just trying to get ahead of this explosion of bad news by having a fake news story to make people think, ooh, they wiggled out of that one cheap.
Right.
But that's bullshit.
Yep. Yes, sir.
That is absolute bullshit. Drone Psyche is asking, why is Doomcock's voice different live? It's just because I'm not wearing my helmet. That's the only reason why. I can put my helmet on, but I'll put it on before the show's over to make Drone Psyche feel better, because I understand. It's very strange. You know what? I think what we should do is go ahead and read a few super chats and then come back and talk about South Park and Loki in the second segment. What do you guys think? Should we do that?
Good. Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right, let's do this. Super chats, mofo. Let's go ahead and get to them. Let me see. I always grab screenshots of them because YouTube is not terribly helpful in that regard, and certain things go away before they should. So let me see. Hold on a sec. Let me go ahead and get to what I grabbed here. Hold on a sec. All right. Mr. Eagle Flying with a $5 super chat. Thank you, oh flying one. Says post-Halloween culture, trick or treat with Gene Simmons and Ozzy hiding in it. Thank you, Mr. Eagle Flying. Gene Simmons and Ozzy Osbourne. Oh my God. Talk about an oil slick, man. That thing be hallucinogenic. It would be really wild. Thank you, Mr. Eagle Flying, and hail to you. Udite1 with a $10 super chat. Thank you, Udite1. Says, got a 30-foot inflatable projection screen and gear to try and start a mobile theater business. Christening it by binging One Piece soon. Haven't seen it yet. Then House of the Dragon, also haven't seen. Wish me luck. Wow, Udite1. Good luck.
How many feet is it?
30, it looks like 30 feet.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, man. Actually, Alamo Drafthouse has done something like that on occasion. They had like a screening of Jaws out in the middle of the lake. And then they had, scuba divers, coming and grabbing people's legs during key moments in the movie and shit. It was kind of cool. But this is a great idea, Udite1. Nobody's specializing in this that I know of. So congratulations on that. I think you'll do bang up business, man. Dad, bang up business. Congratulations. Michael Maloney has been a Doomentite of mine for 47 months now. Thank you, Michael. He says, hail. Let the war of the proxies begin. Thank you, Michael Maloney. Yeah. Well, I think with Nelson Peltz and Bob Iger heading for a showdown, there's going to be some serious shit that's going to hit eventually. We just have to keep. Peltz is not going away, folks. He's not going away. I can guarantee you that. Detroit-2 with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Detroit-2 says, Lucasfilm email dump rumor. Any ideas if true? I don't know. I haven't heard a damn thing about it other than like, it sounded to me like it kind of came from speculation from Drunk 3PO on a stream and Bounding into Comics picked it up and built it up. I don't know. Maybe Jay knows something, but he's playing it pretty close to the vest. It was very vague. I mean, I don't know. Does anybody else have any?
I know Jay incredibly well and probably talked to him more than anybody, at least on this side of the aisle. And he definitely has some information, and he's keeping it close to the vest, as is Gina. So I do agree with your assessment, though. Bounding in Comics kind of blew it up in another direction.
Yeah.
But, they kind of blew it up more PR-y, but at the core of it, there are receipts. I'll say that.
Well, yeah, I mean, I hope it's true. I hope it happens. I pray that it does. I think that would be years of entertainment. Shit.
We can get that new Doomcock boat.
Exactly. I mean, could get that. Hey, we could rent out Udite One's inflatable theater and, screen some cool shit. I think that'd be awesome. So that's all we have, man. I haven't heard a damn thing about it. So your guess is as good as mine. But Mike, he's got the inside track there. So we would love to have Jay come on the show and talk about it, though, if he has any knowledge about that.
I can
might want to ask him.
I'm going to see him in Florida next month. I'll ask him.
That'd be awesome. And Morris gifted 5 Overlord DVD memberships to the channel. Thank you, Morris. And then to top himself, he even gifted another 5 Overlord DVD memberships to this channel. Holy shit, Morris. 10 Overlord DVD memberships to this channel. And then Muzzle Velocity gifted 5 Overlord DVD memberships to this channel. Wow. So there's a lot of folks that are green now, thanks to Morris and Muzzle Velocity. So thank you. You guys are awesome. Really appreciate that, my friends. Stone Racket with a $10 super sticker of Bushiba dancing around and saying thank you. Thank you, my friend. You are awesome. Really, really appreciate you guys. Absolutely amazing. Infinity Flare gifted. Let's see. Infinity Flare has been a channel member for 27 months now at the Dominion level. Thank you, Infinity Flare. Says, say it with me, folks. Doomcock was right. Doomcock was right, damn it. Thank you very much, Infinity Flare. I like the way you think, sir. And Mercer Holt with an incredibly generous $200 super chat. Wow, dude, thank you. It's because of all of you guys that are generous with super chats out there and your support of the channel that keeps us all alive and keeps Harvey locked up in his containment field. It costs a lot of money. The power demands are enormous. He's extremely powerful. But thanks to all of you guys, and thanks to guys like Mercer Holt, who are executive producers on Pop Culture Breakdown, wow, we get another day of life. Thank you, Mercer Holt. And he says, can't stay. Just want to say, love the work you do. Also, here's a little extra. Buy a new Death Ray. Thank you, Mercer Holt. Damn it, I'm sorry. I didn't know that you couldn't stay, man. Damn, I should have read that right then and there. But God bless you, Mercer Holt. Hey, man, get in touch with me at dictorvandoomcock@gmail.com so I can thank you personally, brother. Thank you, sir. You are awesome. And Ranger Jedi, as opposed to Ranger Doug of Riders in the Sky, who's been a Dominion of mine for 26 months now. Thank you, Ranger. He says, Doomcock, hope you get better. We need you. Thanks, man. I really appreciate that, dude. You are awesome. I just feel like shit, guys. I don't know if I'm coming down with something or I'm just hoping it's allergies or something, but I feel like shit. Scott V with a $7.99 super chat. Thank you, Scott. He says, hail Doomcock and panel. South Park was great, and I was never a fan. Laughed my ass off. Your video of South Park was great as well. Live long and prosper. Thank you, Scott V. We're going to talk about South Park joining the Panderverse here in just a few minutes, but I did want to get to some of these super chats before we begin that next segment. So stay tuned, Scott. Don't touch that dial. Cleric Call with a $20 Canadian super chat of great generosity. Thank you, Cleric Call, who says, on this day, 30 years ago, Babylon 5 premiered. Wow. Wow, that's super cool. Also, according to the Marvel's Cats poster, go watch it for Pussies and Tentacles. There you go. Hey, that's my line. Thank you, Cleric Call. Now you got Harvey's attention. You know, anytime you're talking about Pussies and Tentacles, you know, Harvey's there, man. Harvey's there. It's like anywhere that, you know, there's starving kids, Sally Struthers makes an appearance, or used to anyway. I think she's dead now, but she may still make appearances. I don't know. Thank you very much, Cleric Call. Babylon 5. Any Babylon 5 fans on the panel here? No?
I never saw it.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I didn't watch it. Yeah.
Holy shit.
I've heard good things about it. I never watched it.
It was a lot of fun. Wow. Okay. Well, I'm a huge Babylon 5 fan, and I'm looking forward to seeing the Blu-ray set that's going to come out. I think before Christmas. So definitely going to want to get that.
Hopefully, it's an up-res on those effects and the original TV thing, because I have seen screen caps of the show, and I was like, ugh. So hopefully it's going to be fixed up a little bit, right?
Yeah, I hope so, because you know, on HBO they've got it in HD, you know, but the effects look kind of sketchy, you know. There's no way to up-res them because, you know.
Yeah, they're burned. It's
digital
done.
files. Yeah.
Yeah.
Evan Peterson with a $10 super chat. Thank you, Evan. Says Mexican Iron Man. Is it appropriate to wish you a happy Day of the Dead?
Yeah.
Also, Doomcock tried to frame you for Harvey's bad behavior on the live stream yesterday. Well, you know,
my overlord can do whatever he wants because he is my overlord, and yes, that's okay.
It was actually Harvey, or was it me? I think I was trying to. Harvey was pissed off. He was trying to destroy the world and get out, and I suggested that all those kids that you know, Gary is taking care of might be, you know, Mexican Iron Man's just to placate Harvey.
Hey, Mexican Iron Man has one kid he knows of, but let's just say that there might be spent cartridges here and there around planet Earth.
Yeah,
because I have been an active shooter for some time now.
It's very interesting that you say that, because one of the little cephalopods actually broke out of its tube by running and just jumping right through it the other night. So that one, you know,
father like son.
You incompetent fool! God damn it!
Sorry, man. It was in his blood, you know. Obviously.
Fucking hell! All right, I'm off. He slipped back into his dimension. Oh,
Why Mexican Iron Man uses PC because that's Windows.
Oh well,
stupid joke, but a good one.
Well, it was a very good joke. Evan Peterson with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Evan. Says, so you're not Jennifer Lawrence, DC? No. You know, I'm just not. I'm here, aren't I? I'm not. I'm actually talking to you. I'm not standing in front of a mirror, right? Okay.
Right.
So there you go. Although actually, Amy Adams in that American Hustle movie. God.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez, with that hair. You remember how she looked in American Hustle with that 80s kind of hairstyle?
Oh yeah.
Jesus.
Oh yeah.
Christ. Oh man,
yeah, it's all about the 70s redheads, man. It's all about
70s, 80s, you know, Roller Girl in you know,
okay. All right.
you know, Boogie Nights, you know, that crimped 80s hair. Yeah. Jesus.
Yeah. Amanda Waves, that was my favorite.
I know. Oh, Amber Waves. Jeez,
or Amber Waves, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You know that she was in that Shortcuts movie, right?
I don't know that movie.
That was a Robert Altman movie.
Oh, okay. Okay.
She's totally naked.
Really?
She does a whole scene like bottomless, like she's ironing her clothes, dude.
Okay.
You need to go see that immediately.
I'm gonna set it for the list. Right
It's
now.
really, I mean, it's not brief. It's not brief, okay?
All right.
I'm just telling you.
There was no briefs involved, I'm sure.
And the carpets match the drapes.
Of course
Okay,
they do.
I'm just telling you. Jack White with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Jack. Says, DC, have you checked out any of the series I have sent links to you yet? And Mike, Alf still wants a word with you. Man, he is angry. Uh-oh.
Wow.
Alf wants to talk to Mike.
Let's just say Alf's days are numbered. He's around here somewhere, but I kicked him down the stairs the other day. I'll see if I can find him before the show's over.
That's scary. That's scary. Jack, I need to get back to you on that. I think I looked at one or two. I can't remember what the names were. I can't remember. But I will get back to you on that, my friend. Sorry, I'm not feeling too well right now. I'm kind of fuzzy. Dean H., who has been a Dumentite for 44 months now. Thank you, Dean. Says, hail, DC. Happy to be here tonight. Loved your latest video. Keep up the good work. Thanks, Dean. I think people want to see more of animated Doomcock, so it's kind of an interesting thing that OmniVac is reverse engineering the process and may actually subjugate us in that way. We'll see how that works out. I don't know. I'm kind of scared of it, frankly. Jeff Wyatt with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Jeff. Says, She-Hulk is Harvey's lawyer. What? After all, Harvey worked pro bono on her mom and never paid child support. Oh, no! Fuck! Fuck! Is that the daughter of Harvey Cthulhu and made famous in song? Oh, fuck! Hey, let me tell you something. The bitch got a law degree. She can support herself, all right?
Oh, damn.
I ain't got, no, fuck that. Fuck that. Oh, I don't know. God dang.
We're pro bono on She-Hulk's mom.
Shut up.
That's great. What a fucking great joke.
God damn, Jeff Wyatt. That's
damn. Joke of the week, man.
Man,
Joke of the week.
Shit on a stick.
Bravo.
Why'd you let your daughter twerk, Harvey? Shut up. Uh-oh, he's sweating. I can see he's sweating. I didn't know he could sweat. Fuck you. Fuck all of you. You will perish in flames. All right. Jesus. I think she twerks like what, every stripper on a pole has daddy issues. Shut up. Everyone. Every stripper has a failed daddy in her, in her phone. You know what I mean? So all I can say is here's the failed daddies. God, thank you, failed daddies. We really appreciate you.
Oh, wow, that was good.
All of you. Dr. Gonzo is a new channel member at the Dominion level. Thank you, Dr. Gonzo. Welcome, my friend. Welcome. And SHS Rebels 08. Fuck you. He's fuming. All right, calm down. Didn't you jerk off to her? Shut up. All right. God damn it. SHS Rebels 08. We're skipping this. I muted his mic. SHS Rebels 08, who has been a Dumentite for 33 months now. Thank you, my friend. Says, hey, Mexican Iron Man. Did you dress up as Alf for Halloween?
You know what? This Alf stuff's going to stop right now, Doomcock.
Uh-oh.
Right
Is
Damn,
he getting?
You thought Harvey was getting pissed. Look out.
What's about to happen here?
Uh-oh. We lost you. Tuning
Mike,
Tokyo.
Mike got frozen.
Uh-oh. Mike got so mad. It's just...
he's frozen. Look, there it is. Look. Uh-oh. Is he killing Alf? He's killing Alf. Look. Oh, no. Oh, dear. Well, thank you.
Usually only the chicken he chokes.
Thank you. Yes, Shortcuts was Julianne Moore, Princess Fiona. Exactly what I'm saying. Amber Waves. She played Amber Waves in... Julianne, Yeah, what's her name?
Yeah,
Julianne
Amber
Moore.
Waves, Julianne Moore.
Yeah. That's exactly who
right.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was also on Big Lebowski.
Yeah, right. Yeah. No, she's smoking hot. She really
Yeah,
is.
she is.
And Muzzle Velocity with the Doomcock. Thank you very, very much, Muzzle Velocity. We are very, very pleased to have a Doomcock. Thank you, my friend. Ian with a $4.99 super chat. Thank you. Ian says, "Yo, the Snow Wokes, whatever's been replaced by 7-foot-tall, horrible CGI remakes of the classic characters. There's a photo of them on X." Yeah, I couldn't believe that. You know, I couldn't believe that. Actually, let's move on to the next segment of the show here. I will get back to the super chats. I will read all of them before the show is over. But that's one thing that I was fuzzy on when they came out with the article about Snow Woke had been delayed another year. Shades of Indiana Jones. I mean, this is literally exactly what happened with Indiana Jones. They delayed it for a fucking year when they knew they were in deep, deep shit. And now Snow Woke was deep, deep shit. And then in this article, they had a shot of Snow Woke surrounded by these ridiculously plastic, very large dwarves. And I just thought that the newspaper whipped that up or like the graphics department. So is that actually from Disney? I mean, have they actually veered away from the 7 magical creatures?
I don't know if we know that yet. I mean, I think my money is on that. They're probably going to have both groups of weirdos in this movie. The weird-looking dwarf and the other ones, because you remember she's like we do know from the plot that there's this guy that she's interested in, but I think we're going to get both. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what they do now. But here's the thing, Doomcock. If we're gonna spend all this money on CGI, why don't we just hire some actual actors?
Yeah, why don't you hire actual?
I thought it was live action.
Right.
Give them employment, for God's sakes.
They might be trying to, bait and switch us by saying, "Oh, well, those were just, camera models or something like that." Well, if they were just camera models, why didn't you make them the right height?
Exactly.
So,
no. The reason why they're so big, Gary, is to cover up the pre-shot actors, the magical creatures that they're going to CGI replace, and the dwarves have to be big because they're big.
I know how they could really salvage this thing. Subvert all the expectations and make Snow White the villain, because they already have the perfect actress for that, because everybody already hates her. So make Snow White the villain and the evil queen the good guy.
Yeah, maybe they'll just deep fake Gal Gadot on Snow White. That'd be awesome. Just swap their faces. Then it would work, right? Who's the fairest of them all?
Yeah. I think we should get John Woo to direct, and it should be Snow Woke Face Off 2. Wouldn't that be right?
Yeah. Then there's doves flying out of every shot.
Yeah, doves flying out of every shot, and you got Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage swapping faces with John Travolta dressed out as Snow White. And,
Prince can come along and shave Rachel's unibrow.
Yeah. I could just hear John Travolta being like, "Someday my prince gonna come."
Oh my god! Oh my god! Like, my prince is coming here! Oh my god!
Prince is
She's
coming.
got a royale with cheese.
And then the evil queen says, "Someday your prince is gonna come," and he goes, "Where? What? What?"
On that blue dress.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Snow Woke. I did not finger any of the 7 magical creatures.
That I know of.
It depends on what your definition of is. But so we really don't know. I mean, so I was just wondering, has anybody heard definitively that that they are ditching the magical creatures and using those horrible CGI dwarves?
I think, like Mike said, they're going to use both, and probably the CGI dwarfs will only briefly be there because it's too expensive to keep them. So, and then the hippies or whatever the bandits, I guess they're calling them, will be the main. Because she's going to be a revolutionary that overthrows the queen. There's no romance or anything like that.
Right.
So they'll be her crew to overturn the evil queen.
Great, Snow Guevara.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, boy, you must.
We need a shirt. We need a shirt now.
Title.
We need a shirt of her face with the pig. Yeah, we need that.
Snow Guevara.
Oh, we need that. That's
if only we knew someone who could do images.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Oh my God.
I do think though that if we want to, I don't know if we're going to talk about South Park. Are we talking about South Park some more, or no? Or we're on Disney now?
No, we're definitely going to talk about South Park. Or I mean, right about now. I just want to say that the problem with
we want to come back to Rachel Ziegler. I do think there's a reason why that was dropped, and our special guest will be here in 5 minutes.
Oh, all right, cool.
And he's got a someone with a hot take on this Rachel girl.
Oh well, that'll be awesome.
Yeah,
that'll be awesome. But all I can say is the only problem with Snow Guevara, right? The only problem with Snow Guevara is that who was Snow Guevara's primary enemy? Well, of course, it was the United Fruit Company, which these days is just another slang for Disney, right? I'm just saying.
The epic battle between her and Carmen Miranda.
Carmen Miranda, exactly. Momo yo quiero, momo yo quiero. So let's talk about South Park joining the Panderverse. Gary, you said you watched it, huh?
I've seen it twice.
What did you think about South Park joining the Panderverse? Some people were saying that the Fandom Menace was insulted, that Cartman was that really it was a shot at fans and everything else. I disagree, or I think that South Park just insults everybody equally. But what do you think?
Well, now that you mention that, wasn't there a meeting between Disney and South Park before this came out? Didn't they have to mediate something? I heard
that's what I heard. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that would probably explain why that one little. I know what they're talking about. That one little moment with Cartman where he's like, you created me and I created you, or whatever that bullshit was, and it really didn't make any sense. It really didn't. It wasn't as fleshed out of a joke or an idea or a story point as everything else was. You know what I mean? It kind of seemed like, well, we kind of have to throw that in there. You know what I mean? So maybe that I'm just kind of speculating. Maybe that was part of the mediation. Look, you gotta if you're gonna tear her up, you gotta at least say something about the fans because they're pricks. That's what they think of us. And just to try to make it even. I don't know. That's the one part that didn't make any sense. But the rest of it was fucking glorious. It was glorious. My favorite part is when Cartman's telling the psychiatrist about his dreams, and he's talking about Bob Iger, and he's like, and then Bob Iger's like, oh, look at my stocks, and you see Bob Iger falling.
Yeah,
the arrow. Oh, God, I swear I was choking. I was laughing so fucking hard, and Bob Iger's like, no, what about my stocks?
And he had the little mouse ears on. He was kicking.
It was
kicking
so
and tumbling.
Fucking funny. Yeah, it was great. It was fucking glorious. No, I don't think it's a slap in our face at all. I mean, they called it what it was. They got Kathleen Kennedy talking about put a gay chick in it and make it more lame and gay.
Yeah, right.
That's pretty straightforward. They're telling you what they think of this and the Panderstone. But that was fucking great. I don't see it as I don't see it as an insult to us. I can see a little bit of pulling a little bit of that final punch, with the Cartman, making a statement to Kathleen. I can see that, but I think that may have been something that came about in the old little mediation before the episode was released.
Yeah, tacked on.
Yeah, just to kind of say, well, we'll do this in good faith because we want to show the rest of this to the world. So
100%.
that's what I think. It was great, man. I loved it.
It was very refreshing, and I think, I mean, I don't know, my personal feeling is once South Park like takes a public like stand like this, like eviscerating a fellow entertainment monolith. I mean, a company even bigger than Paramount at this point. That's something that gets noticed, not just in the business but also in the larger public. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, definitely.
And I think that's kind of disturbing. I think that they, I mean, my point was, some people are saying, well, they pulled their punches and all this stuff. And it's like, look, do you think Disney was happy to see their stock plummeting, mocked, and made a story point publicly?
No, not at all.
No, not at all. I mean, that's like that's the worst thing you can say about a company. I mean, Jesus,
and we're smart enough to see that little comment that Cartman made was shoehorned in anyway. So we can determine what they really wanted to do versus that little moment, which really doesn't make any sense. It kind of just blows by. So yeah, South Park is a mega property. South Park is a mega IP, and for them to be smacking around Disney is this bad it's a ballsy move. And they got paid a shitload of money to make these South Park specials too. I don't know if you guys have heard about how much money they've been paid to do this.
No.
It's like, I remember hearing, I think it was maybe a couple years ago, they had, I think it was 2 South Park specials, and they were given somewhere around $650 million to do them both.
Oh my God.
That was it was per season, and there was 2. They only had to do 2 per the season. It was out of I remember them saying in like Variety or Hollywood Reporter, that's just not money, that's fuck you money. That's how they described it. Trey Parker and Matt Stone. They're like, this is
good Lord.
So they're getting paid a shit ton of money to do this to Disney. It's glorious.
And it really is. I mean, when it comes to that, and Kathleen Kennedy has had to endure this evisceration, this mockery, blaming all of this shit on right squarely at her doorstep. I mean, shit, dude. This was a huge thing. Mike, what did you think of this South Park episode?
So number one is I thought Bob was made to look like a buffoon. He couldn't control his boardroom. He was obviously afraid of KK, and he had no solutions. I think that's incredibly spot on. Number two is that I found the anything that Lucasfilm or KK might have been working towards in terms of supposed diversity, inclusion. What was on that whiteboard that the dinosaurs and all the other crap? I mean, essentially, literally in a matter of seconds, she got turned into a joke.
Yeah.
On a national, international basis. And now it is forever immortal on the internet, on video, on YouTube's, on people. I mean, there's now 2 ridiculous, because she's got 2. She's got the Cartman KK and then the other KK. And neither one of us like particularly that good looking or flattering. And she's meant to look like a complete total idiot. And if anything, she gets blamed and targeted for broader stuff outside of Lucasfilm. That when they say all movies of Disney are dumb, well, KK didn't have anything to do with The Little Mermaid, but that's where the stick of responsibility's at. I love it, and I got to tell you that. So I shared this on Midnight Edge. I'll repeat it here. I have a friend who works in Burbank, and he said that on Friday there were people literally going around the office that were like, "Oh, this is awful. Someone at Paramount should have stopped that. Who let this happen?" Meaning someone at Disney or Paramount. Someone should have stopped this from happening. He told me this over the weekend when I talked to him. He called me. He called me. He's like, I've known him forever. I've known him for a long time, like 2006, 7. He's been there a long time. He works in finance and accounting in Burbank. But he said also there were a lot of people that work there that thought it was hilarious. So the outward projection of the staff that he interacted with was, this is unacceptable. This is intolerable. And This is what an outrage. How did no one stop this from happening? But in the private messaging and not the outwardly stuff, he told me that a lot of people found out that worked there thought it was hilarious.
Outstanding. Well, I mean, that's good to know what the reaction
something
is.
else. You don't want your own employees. You don't want to be a laughing stock in front of your own employees either.
No, not at all.
But they are, and they do. Live by the woke sword, die by the hilarious, sarcastic woke sword is what I say.
100%. Does anybody feel like disagree that the episode was good or feel that it was unfair to fans or something?
I didn't get that at all.
Okay.
No.
Some people are picking on that to bitch about or stuff like that.
I mean, the main difference between the two camps is one can take a joke.
Right. That's what I said in my video.
I mean, let's just say me. I'll own it. Maybe I'm one of these I hate calling myself a YouTuber, but let's just say I'm one of these pundits or people or fans or whatever. That Lord knows I've probably said negative stuff about KK, Lucasfilm, and Disney. Thousands of times, probably just on this show, let alone all the other ones. Yeah, I've done it. And you know why? Because I want my stuff fixed. I don't want it broken. I don't like the fact that I got 25 lightsabers. Honest to God, Doomcock, I'm so out of Star Wars. I don't even play with my own lightsabers as a break from work. I've been doing that for 2 or 3 decades. I don't even take them off the wall to mess around with. All of them, none of them are charged right now. I mean, they've killed Star Wars for me so bad that I don't even like my own collectibles.
Right.
I agree, Mike. I agree. I was watching Last Crusade the other night and I turned it off. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. Yeah, I swear. That has never happened before. Whenever it's on, I just watch it. I turned it off. I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Wow. Dude, that's
it's a bad place to be.
That is a bad place.
So I'll take credit for being one of the ones at 10 or 12,000 or 13,000 comments every day. Yeah, and I'll keep doing it because this is a culture war, and you people are cultural. You people in Lucasfilms, you people in Disney are cultural vandals, and you're committing cultural felonies to the 5th degree. And you know what? It bums me out because you're doing it and you get a check for it, and you're laughing about it. Now it's time that we laugh at you.
Amen. Absolutely. Fet for Hire, what do you think about all that?
I thought this was, I was going to say great, but I think it's bigger than that. I think it's epic because, Hollywood has been telling us for years now that those of us that hate this woke garbage are in the minority. But I think this is just proof that we're making it, they're hearing me, but our community is making enough noise that they can't ignore it anymore. And I hope South Park is just, that rebellious kid on the playground who packed the snowball together and tossed it down a hill. And it's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and roll them over like that dumbass stormtrooper in season 2 of The Mandalorian and just get squashed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think it is a snowball. I mean, we've all been saying this is nothing new to us, but it was nice to see it kind of play out and to be vindicated on the thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. But I mean, there is something to be said that this is something we've been talking about, 5 years ago, Well, but at this point, yeah, I know it's a big show, and the reason they get the money is because it's the only good show that Comedy Central has left.
Right.
And so there's that, but also, in a lot of ways, this is South Park wrote the obituary. I mean, I don't see any rescue coming because I think it's too late for the Disney brand and its franchises and what have you. So, it was funny. I laughed at it. I didn't, but that's, it was already over before they did it.
Well, but I would ask on that point, Douglas, I would ask, do you think that if we hadn't been yelling about this stuff for years and harping on it and not letting it go, that they would have had that episode? Wouldn't we have just ceded the ground, just retreated, and then woke would basically be the normal thing right now, and they wouldn't have had
I don't think it was possible for no one to notice with that amount of time. I mean, something of what happened and the backlash to it would have occurred because the product was so bad. So everything.
Well, yeah, in terms of the quality,
I mean, it's just. So in some form of fashion, it's just does this do any good? It's just satisfying that there's someone beyond the fandom that gets it as well, but it's it doesn't do any good at this point. It's too late, and this is, I guess, in the sense that this is one of their own in the in crowd and whatnot is pointing out, you screwed up and you're stupid and it's over, but
yeah,
that's about it.
Well, this is like, the kid that, stands up and says the emperor doesn't have any clothes, and then all of a sudden everyone like sees it. I think it's a pretty damn significant moment. What's wrong, Andy?
You said the emperor has no clothes, and I pictured KK as the emperor.
Yeah.
Well, here's the other thing. It's like they control most of the pie, and we have our little slice, and our little slice keeps getting bigger and bigger the more we talk about it. But South Park just helped us increase that piece so much more. And now more normies have an idea of what's really going on because South Park opened some of their eyes. I mean, that's what we need.
Amen. Absolutely. We needed more, kind of validation, I mean, every once in a while, it's good to be able to open up this conversation broadly across Hollywood. I mean, Mike was saying that, some people were angry in the office, right, Mike? But everybody was talking about it.
Yeah.
And I mean,
mission accomplished, right?
Mission accomplished. Getting the conversation going in these corners where they're scared to talk about this shit. It's like South Park gave them in Hollywood the excuse to talk about it. You know what I mean?
But it's another thing of the delusion that continues. Why didn't someone put a stop to this? Someone should have. Your power's gone, and there's a reason for that. South Park didn't do anything to you. You did it. You did it years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. We've got Polly, the Latino slant here, visiting us. Welcome, Polly. How's it going, my friend? Good to see you.
Doomcock, what's up, man? What's going on?
It's been a while. It's good. It's good to see you, man.
It's been a while.
That's right. Since I last, saw your head up high. But what did you think of the South Park joining the Panderverse?
Okay, I still haven't seen it.
Oh, you haven't seen it? All right.
Yeah, but from everything I've been hearing, and all the great commentary from you guys, it's you guys, especially spearheaded by the Overlord here. You guys are light years ahead of these guys as far as okay, cool, but that's good that that the show did that. The show, that's important. And I said this yesterday, just in regards to that, we need more shows to do that, and now we need the comedians. We need the return of the stand-up comedians.
Yeah.
We need to we need more the Bill Burrs, being Bill Burr, Chappelle. Because they used to be they used to be light years ahead of our soul. Like, they're the ones that always tap into what our society's thinking and feeling. Our stand-up comedians, and they lost that ability just because of the times. Got to get back to that. You guys have been the ones the last several years that have done that are showing that mirror to pop culture, saying, hey, wait a minute, I don't think this is right. You did that first, bro. And look at all this. So you must be taking a little victory lap this week, huh?
I'm feeling pretty good about it. I mean, although KK did turn me into 2D in a cartoon, but we got better thanks to Omnivac. But it was scary. There was touch and go, hiding under my bed.
Well, apparently Botox makes your skin extra thin.
Never be surprised at the lengths that people in Hollywood will go to stay looking young.
Yeah. I guess I probably probably wouldn't, but you know, I mean, I assume bathing in virgin blood and you know shit
Oof.
like that. But
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Has anybody else? Nick, did you want to say anything, or Andy, about this?
I
Yeah.
think, go ahead, Nick.
Oh, go ahead, Andy.
I think the most scathing part was when she goes into the boardroom. Everybody's terrified of her in the boardroom. And that was the biggest affront they could have done, because now she looks like the evil witch. She's the bad guy, and everybody else is just like, you know, little ineffective and terrified of, you know, whatever you do, don't offend Kathleen Kennedy. I think that's the most damaging thing that you could possibly do to her. And as far as the other stuff goes, with them, you know, attacking the fan base, nobody's going to remember any of that. Any of the jokes that people will go repeating about this stuff is going to be, there's going to be one line that's going to live forever with this thing. Like, put a chick in it, make her gay, make it lame. That's going to go on forever. It's going to be on T-shirts. It's going to be everywhere. And that's what's going to drive her the most nuts. And the fact that, like, you know, Gina Carano came out and is getting so much traction with her tweets that she put out regarding this, it's going to be a talking point for everybody. And what everyone's going to take away from it is how much Kathleen Kennedy has destroyed the biggest franchise in the world, and that the normies that never paid attention to this and never knew who these people were, now there's a name to it. There's an animated face, but there's a name attached to it. Now they're aware about, oh yeah, every time they hear that name, they're going to associate it with South Park. That's something she can't escape. It was one thing that was relegated to, like, you know, the diehard fans who didn't want to see, you know, Rey Skywalker and all that crap. But now you're putting it out into the general population, where everybody now knows that Kathleen Kennedy is responsible for destroying so much of this stuff, even though she's only responsible for destroying Lucasfilm. I would have liked to seen, you know, Kevin Feige get a turn at the in the stocks, but you know, maybe later.
Yeah, I think for sure later. I mean, I don't know that they're going to be able to fix the MCU, and you know, he owns that. It's coming out. I mean, Variety just kind of nailed him to the wall in this latest article.
I think Perlmutter is out for revenge now. When he just gave control of his stocks to Peltz, he's going to get back in charge, and he's going to be Kevin Feige's boss. I think that's what his goal is, because he was stabbed in the back and very unceremoniously demoted and pushed aside for Kevin Feige. I think Perlmutter is going to want some revenge on him if I have any inkling of the mentality of these Hollywood executives. They're very vindictive, and they're not very forgiving.
No, well, everyone should want revenge, including the fans. I mean, it's just been it's stunning incompetence. Nick, what did you want to say?
Just real quick, I agree with what everybody's saying. I'm not gonna say a lot of the same stuff, but let me just add that I do agree. This was a little late, but better late than never. I thought it was an excellent episode. I loved the constant digs into Iger and into KK, and I think this is going to go down as probably this. Well, for me personally, it's the greatest episode of South Park I've ever watched. Absolutely loved it. I encourage everybody out there, if you have not seen it, to go check it out. Me and Coach actually did a reaction to of course, we had to edit it, change the opacity to get around copyright and all that sort of stuff. But we reacted to it, and I was rolling. I thought it was absolutely hilarious. This little second story arc where nobody knows how to do nothing was also funny, because it's so true nowadays. You know, you got so many people calling the handyman. They can't fix simple things around the house, you know, patch a wall, put a shelf up, hang a picture, you know, simple things, you know, unclog your garbage disposal. Everybody's having to call a handyman for everything. This generation is going to be dependent on handymen. If you're a young person, learn to do stuff. Learn to do stuff on your own. Don't rely on a handyman. You will save yourself thousands and thousands of dollars.
Can I
But yeah, great
add to that?
episode. It'll go down in infamy for forever. It was absolutely great.
Absolutely. Who wanted to add to?
Sorry, Doomcock. Could I add to that?
Yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, in regards to being a handyman on any capacity and being on TaskRabbit in Los Angeles and serving the clientele we serve, South Park was on point 100%.
Yeah.
You would not believe what my cousins and I get paid for obscenely amounts of money to do as far as putting up a picture, moving for me, moving from one room to another stuff for me because I'm just too busy.
Yep.
And these are a lot of times Hollywood executive people. Like, I'm not kidding you. I don't want to say too much because
I believe
you know, but Nick's absolutely right. If you all can get into a handyman profession, know how to do some easy stuff. I mean, just know how to like work your power drills. You know, like it's really weird. And if you have a pickup, yeah, man. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. I was just like,
Yeah.
Oh man.
it's surreal, but it happens. Like, and it's really, really, you know, I'll share with you off screen, Doomcock, like the job we did today. Because
All right, that sounds good.
yeah, bro.
That sounds good.
Anyways,
I'd like to hear it. Did anyone else have anything to say? It didn't have a chance. Go ahead, Robert.
One other thing to add. So there was a scene where Kathleen Kennedy is visits the set of Bambi, and she does her tagline. But that's another dig at Disney redoing the stuff. And they mentioned that we redo everything and all this stuff, and none of it's working. And that's another huge dig at Disney because we talked about Little Mermaid, and we've been talking about their remake of Snow White and Bambi and some others coming up. And, you know, that's part of the problem. They're making all these woke, and South Park started to expose some of that too. So
Yeah, and I understand that this is only the first in like 2 or 3 like kind of like a trilogy of the same kind of thing that's coming out. Like they're hitting just different aspects of the shit that's going on in Hollywood. I think the next one is going to be about Mickey Mouse getting public domain, which ought to be.
There's going to be more of them.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh wow. Okay.
What about
I
Minnie
think
Mouse?
the next
going
one is
OnlyFans?
Mickey going public domain
That's
next
something
year.
to look forward to. Wow.
Yeah, for sure. Which I really love. Did we hear from Douglas? I don't know. Or did he step away?
No, I just said, you know, it was a great episode all around, and I'm just like, it's like I said, it was too late to really put any fire under the companies or whatnot. Not that it would have worked anyway because of the way they are and all that.
Yeah.
But ultimately, you know, Andy mentioned Gina Carano, and that's who I'm most happy for.
Oh yeah, for sure.
She's had her moment, and that's really good for her.
Well, it was a long time coming.
Yeah.
And you know, I think she left no doubt as to her true feelings of the matter. You know,
Right.
well, good for her, man. You know, I'm really glad that she had that opportunity.
Yeah.
Now, I understand who watched Loki.
Me.
and Robert. Why don't you guys tell us a bit about Loki, and then Polly is going to. Polly has something to say about some scabbing that's going on. That's
What?
pissed him
No.
off a lot.
Come on.
Go ahead and do the Loki stuff real quick. Douglas, why don't you start out here? Because I know you regrets. You've had a few.
Willow, and then on to Loki.
Yes.
Go ahead, Douglas.
Well, I mean, I got to between Willow and Loki. I guess Loki wins.
Well, okay.
You know,
Between
find-
Willow and explosive diarrhea wins. So, go ahead.
Yeah, and there was an explosion in this episode.
Oh, there was.
Yeah. Well, the Loki, the whole premise of it, and that they're at the center of all existence, I guess, and that you would only look at it for whatever clues of their continuance within the multiverse stuff. where will it lead? And of course, what are they going to do with Jonathan Majors and all that? Well, this particular episode, he explodes into spaghetti at the end, and then everything goes dark. They say
Into spaghetti?
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I was just looking at it and there's different theories. I thought his girlfriend would take his place and they might reveal that she was a female variant of him so that they would be the mirror of Loki and Sylvie and that sort of thing. But then the Ravonna, she got pruned. So technically speaking, she no longer exists unless, of course, after the end, everything went dark. So it's like, oh, the universe ceased to exist or whatever. And that was the cliffhanger.
Could you imagine if the saving point that they were going to do was put a woman in it and make her gay?
I know. That's what I was waiting for. I know, yeah. Put a chick in it and make her gay.
That was the big twist.
Run off together.
Fucking ruined it.
Yeah, so she got pruned. So I was like, oh no, but I'm sure she'll be back or whatnot. But I was wondering if they went in and redid that to where they just have to come up with a new Kang because of Jonathan Major's troubles, So that would be the only thing there. The rest of it, they run down the hall, they turn around, run down it again, and Sylvie's mad at men. And I heard someone say they had a theory about her being mad at Mobius, and that Mobius is that his real life was in that McDonald's, and that which I thought was that because the kid that seemed to have a crush on her was much younger because he's a kid. And I'm like,
creepy.
I mean, it's one thing for her to be in love with her male self in Loki. I mean, that's already weird. But then for Loki's personality, it makes sense, But anyway, so maybe that's what the deal was. But basically, it looked like another, the obligatory woman, kicking a guy in the balls. When he didn't really do anything wrong. It's like, when her initial arrival, she didn't really seem to care about anything. Now she's upset that they didn't do anything. And it's like, but you didn't do anything. You ran away and hid and got a job at McDonald's. I mean, I whatever. But anyway, I don't know what to make of that. If that's an actual thought on their part to go ahead and reshoot this, where they can introduce their new version of Kang going forward. There's even talk that the Kang Dynasty film will not happen now. They're just going to jump ahead to the Secret Wars because they're desperately trying to get there in the hopes that could drum up, but excitement, bring back old stars, and have a big bash to reboot it all. But the problem is, I think by the time they get there, no one's going to care. It doesn't matter who you put in that film. So.
Well, I just wonder. I mean, if they actually literally blew him up into a pile of spaghetti, does that mean Kang will now be played by Chef Boyardee?
It's a good possibility.
That would be interesting. Yeah. Chef Boyardee. SpaghettiOs, motherfuckers. Dun dun dun. Robert Wright, what did you think of Loki?
Yeah, so it's only 4 total episodes, and the last 2. They were okay, but it's a lot of talking and a lot less action. Yeah. And so the second one is kind of like I hadn't seen the first season. So the second one, I'm kind of confused. They have this cartoon AI character called Miss Minutes, and she's kind of creepy. There's a point where she's like, oh, I can be your girlfriend to the Kang character. And I'm like, whoa, this is just weird. What are you doing here? But it's everybody fighting for him back in the 1800s in the episode 3. And there are a couple good moments between Morbius and Loki where they see the carved statues of Thor and Odin. And that's kind of funny, but that's all you really get. And then, you have the female Loki who messes up everything and then fixes it at the end. And then the 4th episode is them running around, and you're like, okay, you've got one side doing this, and then, Renslayer is one of the main bad guys, and she and Miss Minutes, the cartoon character, are trying to recruit people for their army. and it's the people who were bombing and destroying all the timelines that are locked up, and they go in there and they try and get all these people, and none of them will join them. So of course she uses the box thing that Loki tried to use in the second episode on X, and she basically kills everybody except for X, and he's her minion. And then Loki and female Loki are trying to go after her, and they get to the point where she's in the elevator trying to open it up, and the Loki from the first episode phases in, and he's in the hallway, and then the Loki that we know kills him. And I'm sitting there going, okay, what is up with that? And then they get a call from the thing that in order to stop her, Miss Minutes, who's got control over all the electronics, they have to turn off everything, which allows both Lokis to use their magic powers. And they use their magic powers to kind of save the day and get the guy back. And then he's got to open up this container field so that they can send somebody out to fix everything. And they send him out to fix everything. And then he kind of explodes and everything fades to black. And that's how it kind of ends. And you're just like sitting there going, okay, what was the point? It's
fucked up, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, it just sounds fucked up.
Yeah, it is. It sounds like they were trying to rush everything into an ending, and who knows what's going to happen from here. They could just reset everything. I mean,
I don't know. I mean, from what you said, it sounded like less like a actual Hollywood television show and more like a kid on the playground saying, and then the Black Panther, he goes out in the jungle and he finds a dinosaur, and the dinosaur has a rocket ship, and the dinosaur takes him to Venus where there's Indians that are like running around with like bows and arrows and death rays, and then the dinosaur says, we need your help, Black Panther. But then the Black Panther takes off his mask and he says, no, I'm Batman. And it's like the dinosaur's like, whoa, and he's like, yeah. I mean, that's what it sounded like. I mean, it was just like just a bunch of shit just tacked on. It sounds like
it's exactly like that, except not as good.
I'd rather watch that.
Well, I mean, and Jonathan Major's character, they take him from like in the past, in the 1800s, before he's done anything, and you don't understand why is that version of him so important, you know?
Yeah. Well, they did have the line where I guess it was Miss Minutes said, "You'll never be him," so that is insinuating that he's not really the quintessential Kang or what have you.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And why did Loki kill Loki? I didn't understand.
Well,
that.
I think that completes what happened. That him getting pruned is at the moment that he was saved by Short Round. I forget the name. But they managed to keep him from constantly jumping through time.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, all right. So, is it a must watch?
No.
Okay.
I mean, following Secret Invasion, oh man, this is good stuff.
Right. Well, at least the dialogue between Loki and
Mobius, that's the best part. Yeah, those two work well together. And that's
if you could cut every scene that they're in and just make that into like a montage, that's the best parts of all the show.
They should have just done, the MCU's version of The Odd Couple with them, like, and two grown Marvel characters live in the same apartment without driving each other crazy.
Mobius is a slob. He's supposed to watch the game all day.
Yeah,
it would be good.
He's trying to keep the place nice.
And Kang just leaves his goddamn beer cans all over the place.
Yeah, he comes over.
Fritos, bags of Fritos on the fucking carpet and shit. All right, so sounds like I'm not missing anything on Loki.
No.
No.
I honor you for your service and sacrifice, gentlemen, and I thank you. I thank you very, very much. Paulie, I understand that you have a beef about some scabbing that's going on.
A beef.
Or alleged scamming, or I don't know. I don't know anything about it. Mexican Airman just kind of told me a little briefly about it, but what do you want to say?
I think hypocrisy is more the where I was coming from in what our Hollywood celebrities say and then do, because especially if you are getting behind any social cause, or in this case your own cause of being in the union, SAG actors, and working that picket line day in day out with your brothers and sisters who aren't celebrities but are hardworking people, and that try to grind out an existence of a job, maybe once a year if you're lucky, twice a year if you're really good. That's a really good odds. Imagine out of hundreds of auditions, you maybe get 2 jobs a year. That's actually, you're doing really good for yourself. Crazy profession to begin with. So we're personally affected in this household because of the strike. And it is a real thing where even before this strike, with what I'd said, that forces many people who want to continue to be in the acting game to take on other jobs, maybe even start other businesses. That has been going on for decades. That's been part of the business.
Right.
So when a celebrity goes and speaks at a rally,
Rachel Zegler,
and gets interviewed on Entertainment Tonight, where they're moving their neck, I better get paid every damn
18 hours of wearing a Snow White dress. I bet gets to get me some cheddar.
I said there, I was like, you know what? As much as I cannot take how this person is saying this message, she's on point. And she represents that, a lot of people, like I said, who don't get to be interviewed by Entertainment Tonight, because no one's going to interview Joe Schmo actor on the picket line. Fair enough. That's why stuff like that's important. So now we move up to what's been going on now. Bad leadership, bringing their plushies to negotiation meetings. Fran Dresser, just totally out to lunch on a lot of this. Terrible leadership, where people now that have been in this months long strike, months and months, they're gonna lose their insurance if they don't work. You can't. There's no work because there's no auditions, right?
Yeah.
There's commercials and some voiceovers. If you're not in an interim agreement production, then there's nothing happening. This is the risk everyone knew, right? This is the risk everyone knew. Money's running out for these people. Time's running out for these people, but not for the celebrities.
Rachel Zegler.
They got money.
Rachel Zegler
never had life adversity plucked out of for stardom from Spielberg since when she was 16.
Rachel Zegler
on a roll. Never had to deal with any real life adversity.
Holy, good news. There's hope, bro. Like she got a deal with her movie, and she's gonna be able to go and promote the Hunger Games. And this is great news. I read about it on Deadline, The Hollywood Reporter. Guys, we're going to get Rachel Zegler out in front of a camera promoting the Hunger Games movies, while other actors that Paulie knows are stuck on the picket line. Paulie, aren't you excited for your brown sister?
That was not the feeling that came over me when that news was announced.
Is it Inception? Like, so Rachel Zegler is the original Jennifer Lawrence?
I think she was playing Norma Ray when she got when Entertainment Tonight interviewed her. I'm gonna be this is my Norma Ray moment. This is my Norma Ray moment. And
well done.
So okay. So when it was announced, I was live on Midnight's Edge, and I said, "Oh my God." That means that Ziegler is gonna have a moral dilemma, right? Do I help him promote this film after what I had stood for? Because I'm about my ideals, my principles, and she lets you know about, the feminist thing and Snow White and the gay thing here, the rights, and everyone's got rights, and I'm young and I'm hip. I know what's going on. I want to get paid for every damn hour. So the dilemma is, to me, do I stay with my brothers and sisters who don't have a voice on the picket line in solidarity, or because this corporate studio got an interim agreement, good for you guys, now we can go let our actors go and promote this movie, right? They got man, that was my thing. It's like, well, God, that's gonna be crazy what she's gonna decide to do. When within not even an hour, Doomcock, she was posting on Instagram, oh my God, it's incredible. All these great cast and crew. We get to promote our film, Hunger Games.
God.
Oh my God. You don't understand, guys. This means so much for everyone. And we'll see it. We don't have a lot of time. There's not a lot of time. Only 2 weeks till the movie. Get your tickets now. Joe and Schmo actor? I'm just holding back my cursive language, Doomcock.
Do it. Let it out, man.
Joe and Schmo actor? Fuck you guys. I got mine. I'm going to go. I'm going to the late night show. I'm going to Entertainment Tonight. I'm going to the red carpet. Everything head to toe is going to be paid for and bought off. I'm totally bought off, guys. You guys on the picket line going to lose your insurance? But I'm sorry. In solidarity. Solidarity.
Yeah.
You couldn't even make your fist right when you did that, right? Because everyone knows how to make a fucking fist, right? You roll up these fingers so you can protect your fingers. This Babosa did it like this, half-ass with their nice purse. Bro, man, I got to tell you, man. That really upset me, because how and you got to give Viola Davis this. A couple months ago, she had the same dilemma. She's like, you know what? We're not going to do our film right now because my people, my brothers and sisters, are on the picket line.
Right.
I give her respect. Hey, respect, man. What's his name? Mike Marsden, the actor. You see him on show. He's kind of like a based actor. You've seen him on
Matthew.
Matthew, thank you. He commented on Gina Carano's post, which I really think Gina saw my rant Monday, Doomcock. Because I was
not just hours later in that tweet, she said, and I quote, "Meanwhile, the people who are actually suffering are the crews and actors not a part of studio projects or the in-group to get their waivers granted, the ones whose money runs out quicker, the ones who are having to pick up a second line of work, the ones who will be controlled a whole lot easier once the strike ends based off of desperation to work. Think that's by accident?" Gina Carano questioned. Maybe they should have granted waivers for all the non-studio productions, keep people working, and halt all studio productions if they really want to make a difference and reach a faster agreement. So, who here on the panel is excited, Doomcock? Are you excited? Is this panel excited? We're going to get some Rachel Zegler in front of the camera before November.
Well, yeah, if I can't have Brie Larson, then, well, gosh, Rachel Zegler is almost as disgusting. So that's just swell news. I'm happy like a little girl.
I think between the Gina thing, the SAG thing, Gina going after Disney, Gina talking about on Twitter, and I think between the South Park, the tide is a turning. And this is this chick's career is good. This movie is going to tank. The Hunger Games prequel, there's no way it's going to do well. I'll be in shock if it does.
Well, Polly, isn't this going to make her an object of great scorn and hatred throughout the acting community and throughout Hollywood?
I would love that to be the case, but I mean, there's a few, quibbing back. I don't think it's going to be, I think it's going to be a murmur. I think we're the ones pointing out the hypocrisy, as we always have. That Matthew Marsden actor did comment on hope I'm getting his name right, on Gina's thing, comment. He just says, real actors they've run out of their health insurance. there was a moment where we were a little scared about that as well in this household, but things the way they are, we were blessed enough to get a huge commercial job for Romy, and that's going to hold her over with her health insurance. But she got lucky. I mean, she's talented, but that's luck. Do you understand that, guys? So I'm completely disappointed in Rachel. I've always given her a leeway just because she's young, she's saying stupid shit, she's still pretty talented. After this, I just don't care. I don't care. I think the way you handled yourself, and handled, because this is a real life thing, guys, right? You can't play Norma Ray in front of Entertainment Tonight. That's just disgusting, man. What you did was disgusting. And then you so quick, and now it's like, hey, this was shot in Germany, and look at this behind the scenes photo, and it's a bummer. It's a bummer because so many people, so many idiots take her shit for gospel with all her followers.
Yeah.
And you whoever, I would love for someone to just ask her, hey, weren't you on the picket line? Oh yeah. Well, how do you justify going back to work? Oh, well, they're agreed, and she's gonna bullshit. My next question follow-up would be, Doomcock, well, you're making all this money off this movie, and you deserve it, you earned it. Okay. Will you give a portion back to the Actors Fund for all these actors who aren't making, who have maybe have lost their homes, maybe have had to relocate, maybe I did this. Will you donate?
Well, as tight as her fist was in solidarity with her brothers and sisters, her fist when she's got it full of money is even tighter.
That's a tight.
She's not going to open that fist. She'll open the solidarity fist, but the money fist stays tightly shut.
I suspect her response would be something along the lines of weird.
Oh God.
Yeah. She's a princess after all,
Yeah, so
that's disgusting. It
Yeah,
really is.
See, Paulie, in order to have a moral dilemma, you got to have morals.
Oh dear.
You know.
If this was last week, I would have complained. I would have said you're wrong, but you're right. With her, you're right.
Wow.
You're right. Because this is real life. It's like, pronouns on the thing and fucking all your stupid little things, but there's a lot, and Gary knows. Anyone who's worked in the business and worked on sets that you're dealing with a lot of livelihoods, different people, different backgrounds.
Yeah,
some bullshit, man. I would at least. There wasn't even no recognition of people that are still striking from her. It's like, at least you know what? And in solidarity, I'm gonna donate $50,000.
Something. Put it to the health and pension fund or something.
Yeah, that would have been dope.
He's like, no, baby's got to go. She got to get out of the corner. Baby got to go.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
You can't leave baby in the corner, Doomcock. You can't leave baby Snow Brown Antifa girl in the corner.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Especially if there's wampum out there. What's that, Nick?
I just wanted to add one thing. When this thing started, this whole SAG-AFTRA strike thing, I said from the very beginning, I bet all these high-paid actors that aren't going to miss a beat with insurance, with money, aren't going to do anything to help the little guy in this. They're not going to take a pay cut to help bring up the benefits for all the smaller people. They're not going to donate any money. And if they do, it's probably never even actually going to go to any of those people. Who knows where it will end up? And literally to this day, I've not seen any high-end actor or actress do really anything to help the little guy in the industry at all.
What's the minimum now, Paulie, to keep your pension and health? What's the minimum yearly
to make? Isn't it 35?
Okay. Well, I mean, about 10 years ago it was 14.8
Right.
or something, but is
Yeah.
it really that high now?
I think it's between 27 and 35.
Okay, so
And
folks, that means in order to keep your pension and health plan through SAG, which is a really good plan, you have to make between $27,000 and $35,000 through the guild, which means that's acting work, that's voiceover work, that's anything that has to do with a SAG contract. Now,
Right.
like Paulie's saying, you go on 100 auditions. If you're getting 2 of them out of the year, you are that's a miracle. You are fucking lucky. And those 2 auditions aren't going to be paying you between $27,000 and $35,000. So these people really are struggling just to keep their just to keep their pension and health. So that's a real big problem. A real big problem.
And people in the chat might say, well, why did they go on strike? Why do they agree to this? You got to understand what Gary's talking about is that has gone up higher while people's quotes and wages, like, the quote for doing a week's work or doing a guest spot, it's gone down over the last 10 years. We've seen that and Romy's got some incredible credits, guys. I mean, she's used to working several times a year. That's just how, she's what they called network approved. Gary knows what that means. Not just anyone gets that. And she's got it with all the major networks. And this is my girlfriend that I'm talking about. So there's Doomcock, there's a lot of valid points in this strike from better
Right.
wages to the AI. It's not a bullshit strike, right? It's just the leadership's bullshit. We just have seen those rates go down. So what does that mean? It means you got to get more work.
Right.
It's or if you really get lucky, you become a series regular somewhere.
Yeah,
man. That is the freaking winning the World Series.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not, you could get a negotiation from your agent for a rate, but most of the time it's a standard, whatever the minimum flat rate is, daily or weekly or whatever. That's what you get. And if it's if you're making, what's the day rate now, Paulie? Minimum day rate for like a 5 and under or a speaking role or something.
Oh God,
it's got to be 1,000.
Romy's rate is guest star, so it is a little higher, but but the last couple of years have been brutal. They're not even coming close to those as far as the offer. They still do a plus 20%, and what that means is that plus 20 takes care of your manager and your agent, and then you get your own rate. Yeah, and that's still before.
But the minimum rate for just a guy like let's say you got on a show, you got a walk on, you're a 5 and under,
right?
You got like
couple
one
lines.
Line or something, nice to see you, Mr. Nicholson. That's your line. They're gonna give you what, $800, $1,200 a day or something like that.
I think it went up and then it went back down to that.
Okay, so we'll just say it's roughly around $1,000. So in order to keep your pension and health, folks, you got to get between 27 and 30 of those days per year.
Right. That's why
we were just talking about how you got 2.
Correct, and that's why it was this project that Romy got is very rare. We're very lucky because she worked 3 weeks on a national campaign.
Good.
And
exactly. This is just awful.
One more thing, Doomcock. I'm sorry. One more thing. What has really changed it for character actors, guest actors, the last 10 years, or since Netflix started streaming and all that, is that film stars have come to television. And what did that mean? All those juicy, kind of like roles that would go to character actors, guest star actors, down.
Yep.
Down.
Yep.
That's true.
Yeah.
And I don't know why this waiver was even given, but it just weakens the position of all the strikers because, it's just another chip in the wall, isn't it? Just a little chip in the wall. And who's to say there won't be another chip in the wall? I mean, it's really a violation of solidarity, and I think it weakens everyone's position. ultimately.
I think there's some good news here, Doomcock, for Xanadu.
Oh, please tell us, Mike.
Well, we've already figured out that we now have a strategy for how we're going to get you a boat. Well, now with Rachel Zegler going back out and I'm sure saying dumb crap again, one way or the other, now we're going to get you a helicopter for the boat.
That sounds great. And I can have, shark's teeth painted on it and, skulls and crossbones and shit, because I mean, all supervillains love
let's
that
make
kind
some
of shit.
videos and let's get some of that sweet helicopter yacht action nectar.
That's what's going to happen. Snow Woke is guaranteed. Although it sounds like it's not going to be quite as bad as it would have been, with the 7 magical creatures, although it's 7 giant dwarfs.
Doom?
Yeah.
Hey, I don't know if you saw in the private chat. I found an article from The Verge that mentions that claims that Disney did put that photo out.
Well, no, we know
okay.
they put the photo out. We just don't know if they replaced one group of weirdos with this other group of animated weirdos.
Interesting.
They are confirming that Disney released the photo, though. It wasn't like just something. Well, then that says a lot.
So it looks like that's it then.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're going to be in there.
No, but I mean, like,
I'm thinking they're going to use both.
Yeah, I still think they're going to use both groups of weirdos.
Right.
The animated.
Oh my God!
one.
Well, what the fuck are what?
That's bizarre.
That's
Wow.
That doesn't help anything.
That doesn't make any
the
sense at all.
multiverse.
Yeah.
yeah, the multiverse.
It's like what? It's like like the 7 magical methadone addicts, right? Like see the dwarf cottage, right? And, the dwarves are like down, in the trapdoor in the mines. They shut the trapdoor and nail it shut, so they're down stuck there so that they can squat in their house. That's what's going to happen.
Or
so
they
the dwarves will
hallucinate
be
them.
there for 5 minutes.
Are we talking about this infamous photo that's out now?
Yeah, exactly.
Doomcock, what is it? This was put out on the official Walt Disney Company website. Why does it look like shit?
Because it's put out on the official Walt Disney Company website. You
Done
just
by
answered your own
Disney.
question. I mean, everything they do looks like shit these days, doesn't it?
I mean, it looks bad.
I know it looks awful.
It looks,
That's why I
don't
didn't think it
worry.
was them. I thought it was like, so like, I don't know, somebody got some Hummel figures and just blew them up,
again,
optically.
like a little like a claimer. This is still rendering, still in.
Yeah,
production.
exactly.
Right.
Talking about the leader of American animation, and they can't give us a decent photo.
No, they can't.
You're talking about the pioneer
Just
of
the
the
fucking
very
hell.
craft, and they can't give us a decent fucking photo.
Well,
I
we
swear to
are-
God,
they-
those heads on those dwarfs look like something you'd see in actual Disneyland. They look like plastic, don't they?
Yeah, like Spirit
Yeah.
Halloween or something.
Yeah.
They probably had them laying around. Say, hey, let's put this together. Yeah.
Yeah,
Dust
it
them off.
was Disneyland actors that were playing the characters.
Yeah.
Like
And
7
everything's so
goddamn college
smoky.
mascots looking around for their fucking heads, and they're like stolen by Disney in their fucking photo.
I think it's time for super chats here, Doom.
All right. Let's go ahead and do it then, shall we?
All right.
Let's get some super chats here. Good, my friends. Lively discussion. Warachi with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Warachi. Says Marvel. The stench of desperation wafts from their cursed flesh. Yes. That was, I guess, Count. What was his name? In the Star Wars prequels. Not Dooku. It's General Grievous. That's right. I think that's what it was. Thank you, Warachi. I appreciate that, my friend. He typed cough, gasp, wheeze. That wasn't hard to do because my throat is messed up right now. Thank you, Warachi. Troy Neenan with a $2 Australian super chat. Thank you, Troy. He says, did you watch the amazing digital circus? I have not had a chance yet, Troy, but I do want to watch it. I mean, you made excellent points before. I just need to find the time. I have very little time, but I do want to watch it. I am committed to watching it, and I really appreciate you calling it to my attention. Does anyone else watch the Amazing Digital Circus?
I've not ever even heard of it. What is it?
It's a YouTube thing, apparently, that has like millions and millions of views that came out. I think it's
for kids.
Is it a kids thing?
kids friendly, and then but everyone is talking about it.
Yeah, everyone's talking about it, so I need to see it. I just haven't had a chance, but I thank you, Troy, for raising that awareness, sir. Green Hat with a $5 super chat. Thank you. Green Hat says the current planning in Marvel can be summed up in a single word: squirrel. Squirrel? Okay. Thank you, Green Hat. I wonder why squirrel? Why squirrel? Don't blame Sabu. He's got nothing to do with this shit. Isn't that right, Sabu? That's right. Blame poor Sabu. He's not a Disney executive. No. Dr. Gonzo with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Dr. Gonzo. Says if Doomcock would ever resurrect something similar to Mystery Science Theater, I would pay for that. And hey to my friend Mike, aka Mexican Iron Man.
What up?
What up? Well, I've heard some very disturbing and terrible things about people that are showing public domain movies on YouTube and joking about them, and then they Mystery Science Theater comes after them and gets them taken off YouTube or demonetized or shit like that. I mean, that's what I've heard. Has anyone heard anything like that?
I haven't heard anything like that, but we actually did a parody video a couple years back, kind of doing something and using some stuff from them that wasn't actually clips of them, but doing some stuff similar, and we got hit on it.
See,
and
I don't see how they can own that. I mean, that's not them. I mean, you're not using the Satellite of Love. You're not using Crow or any of those characters. I mean, it's just the concept.
Yep.
So, I've always loved Mystery Science Theater, but that kind of took a little bit of the luster off of them for me. I mean, what's it to you? And who the fuck, fucking like made them the ultimate arbiters of this kind of humor? I mean, it's just basically shit that we've all done in our lives, and they just put it on camera. So I don't get it. It seems really petty and ugly to me, but I don't know. So I think that sucks. Adam Wofford with a $10 super chat. Thank you. Adam says, so the Rat spent $225 million on She-Hulk. No wonder why they're hurting for cash. Also, remember, they wasted $100 million on the Galactic Star Cruiser. So how soon for the sale signal? I say 2 years. Well, I agree with what you said, Adam, except for what you said about the Galactic Star Cruiser. It's more in the neighborhood of they wasted $1 or $2 billion on that thing. That's what I heard. I mean, because you're talking about development of this new technology, of the actual construction, of the salaries, development. Apparently, it was a very expensive thing. So at the very least, multiply your $100 million wasted by probably 10 at least. And they shot half of the Daredevil series and then just scrapped it. So Adam, they're allergic to money. I think they're actually allergic to money. They're certainly allergic to capitalism. Disney is no longer a for-profit company. Can we just be honest? RC with a $4.99 super chat. Thank you. RC says Disney needs to hit true rock bottom and change their woke ways. Here. I think rock bottom is approaching. I don't think Disney's ever looked worse, honestly. Really. I so many horrible things are converging on Disney right now that it's just inspiring. It's fucking delightful. And I'm just can't wait. I can't wait for that earnings call next week.
Oh, that's gonna be glorious. It's all
literally I'm gonna go from that earnings call to grabbing dinner and coming on this show. That's gonna be back to back.
So folks, be sure and come next week, because we're gonna have live, like right after coverage of the earnings call. It's gonna be something. Dixon Cider with a $5 super chat. Hello, my dear friend Dixon Cider. It's great to see you. Dixon Cider says, I hate double standards. Burn a body at a crematorium. You're being a respectful friend. Do it at home and you're destroying evidence. Did I say Dixon Sider was my friend? I've never met him before in my life. Not just kidding. Yeah, no, that's a good point. That's a good point. Burn a body at a crematorium, burn a body at home. Two different things. Such hypocrisy. Thank you, Dixon Sider. Troy Neenan with a $5 Australian super chat. Thank you. Troy says if Peltz keeps buying, when it gets to $80, Mike won't do live streams anymore. Also, how low would that stock be without Peltz? I think it'd be a lot lower, Mike. I think that the big rally happened when Peltz expressed his commitment to getting board seats and
And let's not forget that just a couple days ago, Ike Perlmutter released his statement that hey, all my shares are with Nelson Peltz. So for those playing this game at home, when Nelson first made his move at the beginning of the year versus now, whether those stocks are Nelson Peltz Trian stocks or they're Ike Perlmutter's, Nelson Peltz now has 4 times as many stock units to vote on as he did at the beginning of this year when this issue first came up.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the battleship and the aircraft carriers are being lined up here by by Fleet Admiral Peltz over here.
Absolutely. And I was told by my Hollywood spies, although I don't think I put it in a video. Some pieces of information are too small for a full video, so I just kind of sit on them. But I was told that there was an alliance that was going to be with Peltz, Perlmutter, and George Lucas, who was going to give them his proxy as well.
I mean, if he does that, that'll be thermonuclear.
That's the rumor.
I can't imagine that he would, because he's had so many opportunities to take a. I mean, this is a guy who literally said, "Hey, I gave my Star Wars kids to the white slaver." I have a hard time believing he would do that, but if he did, now it's on now we're at a hostile takeover type of thing.
Yeah. Me actually talked about that exact subject yesterday.
Really?
Who did?
Yeah.
I guess it depends on how personally slighted he feels.
I would think very personally slighted, and I would think just watch Ahsoka, George.
I mean, I can imagine. Let's just say if I were Nelson Peltz, I would say, George, how do you feel that Disney's taking care of your children? And like Perlmutter, the statement that Perlmutter released was blistering. He literally said, "I can no longer stand by and watch the company I built be managed the way it's happened." I mean,
wow.
Yeah, the statement was off the Richter scale. This was just a couple days ago.
Disney is under assault. I mean, they're under siege right now. We're witnessing it.
Yeah, Mike made a good point yesterday that I actually agree with. It seems like George Lucas just doesn't care. He got his money. He's just kind of kicking back, and he doesn't care anything about what they do with Star Wars. Maybe that's not the case. I hope wouldn't be the case, but I don't know. I would love to see him throw his 2 cents in there and throw his backing behind Peltz and Perlmutter, though.
Yeah, well, that's one of the rumors that my Hollywood spies told me, I don't know, a couple of months ago. That'd
be awesome.
But I mean, there was no more to it, so I didn't say anything. But it's come up now, so why not? I'll go ahead and share that with you. King of Games 2007 with a $5 super chat. Thank you, your kingship. He says, "Hail Doomcock and pop culture breakdown on the topic of One Piece. Cost $18 million per episode, and She-Hulk was $25 million an episode. Talk about burning money away."
Yeah.
Oh Christ! I mean,
22 million. Where?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
getting the right bounce in the butt of the twerking. That's what caused
on those bad PS2
CGI booty and chi-chis
graphics.
Terrible shit.
Yeah, in One Piece, that $18 million, it's all up there on the screen. You can see it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say One Piece used every penny of that.
Yeah, all those huge sets, those massive real sets. Really
you
good.
could tell, man. It
good
really
stuff.
fantastic show. What a fantastic show.
Yeah.
I loved every minute of it.
Yeah.
I can't wait for more.
So much joy and fun and escapism and in that
friendship
show.
and loyalty and optimism.
Dude,
Love
I was just
hair.
thinking about loyalty, man. About going back to Ziggler, about having someone else's back. It's like, bro, that's what Luffy was all about. Whoa.
Yeah, he put it on the line.
Put it on the line, bro. Like, yeah, now I want to watch it again, Doomcock.
Yeah, me too. Oh yeah, I mean, I love it.
Mhm.
You know, Nami. God dang, she's hot. Oof.
Yeah.
Lord.
Excellent. It was the best show going right now by
But
far.
it weirdly enough, I mean, it shows how great all those characters are. My favorite character is Zorro. You know, I mean,
He's
God
badass.
dang, that guy is so
he's
cool.
awesome.
That guy is cool. I hear he's Sonny Chiba's son or something like
Yep.
that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Incredible, man.
Yep.
That guy has got it. Whatever it is,
Yeah.
man. He's got that Clint Eastwood thing going. I swear to God.
Well, all the
He played
casting.
that role perfectly.
Yeah.
They were all casted perfectly. That's how
I
you do
love
it,
it.
Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely love it. Wayu Hatan with a $5 super chat. Thank you. Wayu Hatan says, was Omnivac pleased by the challenge of getting you guys out of the different dimension? Yes, he was. And I give him all the credit in the world. The guy, Omnivac really came through. Unfortunately, being of a megalomaniacal and villainous kind of bent, he is trying to reverse engineer the process and send us back into 2 dimensions. So I don't know if he'll succeed. I hope not, because that's a terrible and scary power for him to have. So we'll see, folks, but I don't know. I'm a little worried. Wayu Hatan with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Wayu Hatan says, Gina Carano recently went on a tangent on X, ripping Kennedy and all of her minions a new one. She really did. God bless her, man. I'm so glad she's having her day and getting her chance to voice her true feelings about all that bullshit. You know?
Oh, she's been throwing haymakers out there on Twitter.
I love it.
She's incredible. I mean, gosh, the things that she said, and it's from life experience. And some guy tried to come after her, and she put him in his place.
And we know that guy. Well, Coach knows that guy and has had some conversations with him in the past. And
Really?
he's an idiot.
Okay.
My only correction with Nick is not haymakers, man. Very, very well calculated combos, man.
Yeah.
Gina's
I'd
a
agree
shark,
with that.
man.
Yeah.
Gina was a shark. She was sharp with that. She shows you how really smart, intelligent she is.
Mm-hmm.
She had a lot to say.
Mm-hmm.
A lot to say. Maji-chan gifted an Overlord DVD membership to this channel. Thank you, Maji-chan. Very, very much appreciated, sir. And Watsamata, who has been an arch villain of mine for 5 months. Thank you, Watsamata, says, hail, my liege. It is an honor to serve. Favreau forever and Filoni for never. I think Filoni did himself no favors by demonstrating that he really doesn't understand how to make movies or TV shows. Can we all agree on that? That Ahsoka was so incompetent.
Oh,
Go back to animation, Filoni.
I'm so happy he got the opportunity, because now there's no doubt it's like, what's that saying? It's better to remain silent and be thought an idiot than to speak and remove all doubt. Well, he spoke, and yeah, he's not the savior.
No, he's not the chosen one. He's not the chosen one. No,
he's a very naughty boy.
He spoke and he stuck his foot right in his mouth.
He really did, man. The Fed for hiring, he nailed that one. Rafe with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Rafe, says Harvey. I tried to free you. Why did you not tell me that he has a Golgothan down there? I smell like KK movies now.
Well, I didn't want to dissuade you, Rafe. Thank you for trying, dude. Very much appreciate you, dude.
Even though he smells like the KK movies now. Thank you, Rafe. And Rafe also gifted an Overlord DVD membership to this channel. Thank you very much, Rafe. And the Guardian of Azarath with a £2 super chat. God bless you, Guardian of Azarath. Hail DC. Did you see Gina's truth bomb tweets? Certainly did. We should have actually read one of the major ones on the show. It would have been very good. She's amazing. She really is. And Ken Rygard with a $2 super chat. Thank you. Ken says, I saw South Park. I didn't see any pandas. What the fuck? He didn't quite get the memo. Ken, I'll explain it to you later, man. Just drop me a line. I'll explain everything. Okay. Pandas, yeah, it's not that kind of panda, but we'll talk about it. And West Cagle with a $5 super chat. Thank you, West Cagle, trying to rain on our Julianne Moore parade. He says, Overlord DVD. Julianne Moore may be hot, but she's a lefty loon. And remember the saying, never stick your pee-pee in crazy.
Yeah, but we'll forgive her. Come on.
It's almost impossible not to stick your pee-pee in crazy.
Yeah.
It's almost impossible.
She gets a pass.
Gentlemen,
a lot of the crazy girls are so hot, and
yeah, what are you gonna
gentlemen,
do about that?
Doomcock,
Yes.
they're all crazy.
Well,
true.
there you go then.
That's fucking true.
That
There you
to
go.
some extent.
What are you gonna do?
The ones that are
can't-
hot and not crazy are like unicorns. They're out there.
Yeah, they don't exist.
True that.
I don't
They're
know.
all crazy.
They
I
can't
could
say
dream,
crazy
can't I?
things if their mouth is full of dessert.
Of dessert.
Oh.
And Mr. House Party 6 with a $10 super chat. Thank you, Mr. House Party 6 says, and who can forget all the gaslightings? Oh, yeah, from Disney. Fuck them. Yeah, they've absolutely just treated their fans and all of us like shit, like idiots, slandering us constantly, trying to change our reality by, what they show us. And, that's the kind of shit that really ultimately is putting them out of business. So fuck them.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go ahead and get to a movie we love, shall we? This week, the movie we love is Mel Brooks' Spaceballs. Ladies, oops. Well, I tried to. There we go. Okay. All right. Shit. Hit the wrong button. Anyway, Spaceballs by Mel Brooks. Everybody loves Mel Brooks. Everyone with taste, anyway. I think that Mel Brooks is one of my favorite American comedian, actor, writers. Really, he was there all the way back with Sid Caesar's, show of shows way back in the golden age of television, struck out on his own. And, this was his reaction to the big hit that was Star Wars. Spaceballs is a famous and much beloved show. And I'm happy to have Gary Ambrosia tell us a little something about this, my friend.
All right, here we go, guys. Spaceballs, the movie review. Mel Brooks' spoof of anything and everything we've ever loved, produced on a $22 million budget and bringing in just over $38 million worldwide, opening at number 2 behind Dan Aykroyd, Tom Hanks' comedy Dragnet, bringing in over $6 million on its opening weekend. The story was based on Frank Capra's 1943 film It Happened One Night, but set in space. I didn't know that. That was
I didn't either.
Yeah. The film had a top-notch crew, including Nick McClane as cinematographer, known for his work on The Goonies and Superman, and actually worked on the original Star Trek series. Ben Nye Jr. as head makeup artist, straight from the Nye family dynasty, which brought us some of the most prestigious Hollywood makeup in cinema history. Costumes by the great Don Feld, a 4-time Academy Award-nominated fashion designer. And visual effects produced by Apogee Incorporated, which was founded by Star Wars visual effects creator John Dykstra. Industrial Light and Magic was also hired to provide the singing chestburster. Yeah. After giving his blessing to Brooks to make Spaceballs, George Lucas had one condition: that there were to be absolutely no action figures made to tie into the film.
Bastard.
Brooks agreed, and in fact spoofed the idea in the movie. A novelization of the film was released, titled Spaceballs, the Book, and written by Goosebumps author R.L. Stein.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
I didn't know that either. Tom Hanks and Tom Cruise passed up the role of Captain Lone Star. This disappointed Mel Brooks, seeing as he needed some star power to reinforce the box office take. It was the casting of SCTV alumni Rick Moranis and John Candy that put him at ease. Then unknown, Bill Pullman was cast as Lone Star after Brooks was impressed by his role in the movie Ruthless People and also a performance on stage in a play. At the time of Bill Pullman's casting, he had not yet seen any of the Star Wars films.
Wow.
Interesting. Yeah.
He later went on to be president and, defeat the aliens in Independence Day.
You know, he
One of
said
his greatest
that
roles.
he said that actually a little side note on that. He said that when he traveled to Brazil or something like that, when they were promoting Independence Day, they promoted him as the president of the United States, and people thought he was the president of the United States coming to the premiere of the movie. He said they were like escorting him around, and it was a big deal. They had Secret Service around for him. It was very, very.
Oh, that's
interesting.
pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay, at the suggestion of Rick Moranis, John Candy was cast as the loyal and lovable Barf. The character originally had a full face mask. However, due to Candy's casting, the design was changed so that you could see that it was John Candy. Barf's tail was operated by the actor by remote switch in his glove, and his ears were remote controlled by puppeteers off camera, powered by 30 pounds of batteries worn by Candy on his back under the wardrobe. So they added weight to John Candy in this movie. Yeah. During a scene where Barf forgets to remove his seatbelt before springing into action, Candy improvises the line, "That's going to leave a mark." This was then borrowed by another great comedy legend, Chris Farley, in Tommy Boy.
Ah, makes sense.
Yeah. The film was primarily shot on Stage 15 at MGM Studios, which was inspiring to Brooks because it was the same stage where almost 50 years earlier, The Wizard of Oz was filmed.
Oh, wow.
It's like his favorite movie. In similar fashion of Steven Spielberg naming his giant rubber shark after his attorney, Mel Brooks created his own version of The Force, which was actually inspired by his attorney, Alan U. Schwartz. Yeah.
May the Schwartz be with you.
As is the way with golden body paint, Mel Brooks suffered some minor skin poisoning while donning the gilded makeup for yogurt.
Oh, wow.
That right there is Michael Winslow, in case you guys don't know. He's a pretty famous comedian, like a human sound effects machine, and was heavily featured in the Police Academy films.
You're right.
He is so fucking funny. That guy is brilliant, man. Like you see the screen and it's like, fuzzy, and it's like it's just like shh, and it cuts to him. He's like shit.
The sweeps, the
It's
bleeps,
so
and the
great.
creeps.
Oh my god, it's so fucking funny. A blue screen was built for Spaceballs at 35 feet tall and 135 feet wide. It was the largest ever built for a film at the time. There was a big scare that the screen may injure the crew's vision, so special yellow lens glasses were given to the workers that were supposed to prevent eye damage. This, of course, turned out to be bullshit.
Yeah, I was like, what?
If you look at all the behind-the-scenes photos, everybody's wearing these special glasses. It was this big scare. Mel Brooks was talking about it. He's like, they always made me wear the glasses, but then it turned out to be bullshit, so... This one's good. During the Pizza the Hut scene, a wire was installed on the slimy creature's suit, which was electrically heated in order to keep the cheese melted and gooey. In between takes, actor Rudy DeLuca, who played Vinny, the robot that was sitting next to him, heard mumbling from the actor in the pizza suit and noticed smoke erupting from inside it. The actor was removed quickly from the burning pizza costume, just barely avoiding a serious injury. Mel Brooks thought this was funny. And it is.
Yeah, it turns out that pizza was made by Tombstone. So
Right? Yeah, no shit. The original title of the film was Planet Moron. At the time of its production, a British sci-fi comedy film had been released called Morons from Outer Space, and the title was changed in order not to get the films confused. Thank God. After spilling hot coffee on himself, Brooks cried out, "Balls!" At the suggestion of one of his assistants, who had heard the obscenity, the film was now titled Spaceballs. The 2005 DVD special edition of Spaceballs features a commentary track provided by the little creatures that rescue the heroes on Yogurt's planet, known as the Dinks. It lasts the entire span of the movie. So you can turn on the commentary by the Dinks, and all you hear is dink, 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 dink for 2 fucking hours.
Oh, God.
2
almighty.
fucking hours. Yeah.
That's fucking insane.
My final note, Spaceballs, the animated series, was released in 2008, which saw some of the original cast reprising their roles. A sequel to the film was in the works, with the suggested working title by Rick Moranis as Spaceballs 3, The Search for Spaceballs 2. Both Brooks and Moranis began to develop the film, however, it did not get off the ground. In 2015, Brooks planned on reviving the sequel in wake of the release of the first Disney Star Wars film. However, we are still currently waiting for the movie to come to fruition. There was one note that I forgot to add. The guy who is the We Ain't Found Shit Spaceball, I believe that actor is isn't he one of the Vulcans on Star Trek Deep Space Nine or something like that?
Voyager.
Okay.
He played
I'm
Tuvok.
not familiar with those.
Oh, Tuvok was in there, huh?
So Tuvok is the actor who plays him plays the We Ain't Found Shit Spaceball.
We ain't seen shit.
Tim Russ? What was this?
Yeah.
Tim?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go, guys.
Wow.
That's Spaceballs. Yeah, if you guys haven't seen Spaceballs, boy.
I wish I had the flying Winnebago. I wish I had a model, like a toy of it or something.
Yeah.
That would be pretty good. Let's just go down the line. Robert, what do you think of this movie?
Love this movie. I saw it in the theaters when it came out. So first off, plug for Mel Brooks, the box set that has Spaceballs and a bunch of his other movies. If you haven't seen Mel Brooks's movies, they're awesome, and this is one of the better ones. I love this movie. I think it's hilarious. It's a great parody of Star Wars. I put it right up there with all the Star Wars movies and consider it just a classic. It's a go-to. Anytime it's on, I'll watch it. I love all these scenes. This scene right here where he's doing all the promo stuff. There's another fact about this movie, Gary, that's interesting, is that there's a lunchbox in there. There's a Transformers lunchbox. And I heard that they had to pay some rights to Hasbro Transformers for Mega Maid being a Transformer and for that lunchbox because it was.
Oh, there it is.
There you
Look,
go,
there
buddy.
we are.
Yeah, funny you should say that. Yep, there you go. This is
Yeah, they actually used the sticker is actually a Transformer sticker because they just put this on the Transformers lunchbox.
Yeah.
But yeah, there it is. Spaceballs, the lunchbox.
I would always wanted Spaceballs the flamethrower.
Oh,
Kids
yeah.
love this.
Love
one.
it. But yeah, this movie's hilarious. I think Rick Moranis does just such a fantastic job as Dark Helmet in this. From the scenes at the beginning where he hits his head on the thing because he won't buckle up.
Right. I have a Barf action figure. Keep talking, Robert.
Okay. To the scenes where he's even making fun of President Screw behind his back. He's like, "Don't put that helmet down in front of me. How do I know you're not making faces of me behind my back?" And he's doing it right behind his back. It's hilarious. And then the quote that we always say is the combination 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the same combination an idiot would have on his luggage. And then, of course, the president comes in is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the same combination as on my luggage. So it's just.
So this, guys, is a casting of the actual Barf action figure used in the movie.
Wow.
Yeah, I got to. It's really hard to focus. I can't really see a whole lot of detail, but yeah, I'm cleaning them up, and yeah. John Candy's one of my favorite actors, and this is one of my favorite props. I really want to clean it up and finish it up, but yeah, there he is.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Barf!
Yeah.
I'm a Mog, half man, half dog. I'm my own best friend. Fucking John Candy.
Yeah. And then a couple other scenes that I wouldn't reminisce about. Love the scene in the diner with the alien popping out and singing the frog song. Oh my gosh, that was hilarious. And then at the very end, when Mega Maid's head lands on that planet, and it's the planet of the apes, and what's that coming out of her nose? Spaceballs. oh shit, there goes the planet. It just cracks me up. It's hilarious. So there's so many different sci-fi movie references in this. And then the other thing about this movie that doesn't get talked about a lot is some of the music in it is really good. Some of the rock songs, and then some of the original songs like Spaceballs is just a hilarious song. As
Stephen Tobolowsky, look.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Needle Nose Ned from Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
Yes, with their stunt doubles.
He is so fucking funny in this movie. Yeah, you know, Robert, John Hurt was called to do his cameo in that scene, you know, where the little creature bursts out of his chest. He didn't know that he was going to do that. He thought he was just walking on, you know, going to walk past and look at the camera or something. But he said that, like, it ended up being like a 3-day shoot because they had to do all the effects to him. They didn't even tell him about it, and I don't even think they paid him.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
It's pretty. Yeah, that's what Mel Brooks said. He's like, it was a real trooper because I don't think we paid him. I think it was probably a joke, but
I hope so.
yeah. He didn't expect to be there. He didn't even know what they were doing, and then they had the creature burst out of his chest, and he improvised that line. So.
Oh no, not again.
the timpani drummer and the Mega Maid.
I'm the bearded lady. Who are you?
Oh man.
This fucking movie.
It's good stuff. I also think Daphne Zuniga is really hot in this.
She's gorgeous.
Oh yeah,
she's really beautiful.
I like that they had slits in her dress there. You know.
Yeah. Got a little thigh action.
Very nice. Fed for Hire. Are you a fan of this movie? Have you seen it?
Oh, I'm a huge fan of this movie. I saw it many times when I was younger, and I watched it last night to refresh my memory. And man, it was just as funny to me last night as it was when I was a kid. I mean, if anybody follows me here on YouTube or on Twitter and knows my sense of humor, I mean, if I was going to do a sci-fi spoof movie, this would be the movie I did because it just fits my sense of humor to a T. And I mean, it's just Rick Moranis there. I don't think anybody could have played Dark Helmet as well. I mean, every scene with him in it. Yeah, every scene in it with him was hilarious, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, just stuff like that right there. I mean, that's just so me. Shooting people in the dick with the Schwartz. I mean, yeah, I love this movie.
Yeah.
I wish I had a action figure of Dark Helmet too, you know? I like the helmet.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's very nice. So you still found it charming, Fed for Hire.
I did. And I'm with you. Daphne Zuniga, I was in love with her when I was younger, and she's still just as hot now as she was to me back then.
Yeah.
She was something, man.
And yet another strong female character. I know it's a spoof movie, and it's just kind of a play on Carrie Fisher's Princess Leia, but I mean, you know, we all love her. Right? We agree on that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, when she shoots the shit out of the Spaceballs for shooting her hair.
Shooting her in the hair. Yeah.
That scene's awesome.
Yeah,
and
son of a bitch, she just mows them all down. They're blowing out of the frame. She's just mowing them all down.
That was
pretty good. That's good enough for Rambo.
Right.
She is hot, man. Like her hair.
That 80s hair.
Did you have anything else to say, Fed for Hire?
No, I mean that's about it. I mean the Winnebago in place of the Millennium Falcon. I mean that's great. That's what
I know, man. Yeah. It would make a great mod. I wish I had it. I wish I had a toy of it or something. I guess they never made it. Oh well. Ah, there we go. There we go. Oh God. There it is. Was that like stop motion or was that
No, it was a puppet.
Just a puppet, yeah.
Yeah, it's an animatronic puppet. That's the one piece of work that Industrial Light and Magic did on the movie was this thing.
Pretty nice, man. Well done. Let's see. Nick, what do you think of this? There we go. Damn you.
I absolutely loved this movie growing up. I've seen this thing so many times, but I will say I think it's a movie of its time because I've shown people this movie just probably over the past 7 or 8 years or so that have never seen it, that really didn't grow up in that time, and they did not find it as funny as I did and still do. So I think it's definitely a movie of its time. I still think it holds up today, but I'm biased because I have a connection to it from my childhood. So I absolutely love it from start to finish. And one other thing, on some of the stuff Gary was talking about, the guy who was in the Pizza the Hut suit, Richard Karen or Kareen, I'm not sure how you pronounce his last name, but they actually had some reshoots that they needed to do, and he absolutely refused to come back and be a part of the reshoots and be in that suit at all. So they actually got the effects artist to actually take his place for some of the reshoots they did. So yeah, he after that one time that he was in there, he was like, yeah, that's it for me, I'm done. But yeah, there's so many funny moments in this movie. It's a never-ending roller coaster ride from start to finish, and it has some of the most iconic lines and scenes in it that are still talked about even still to this day. I love it from start to finish. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, a lot of people who didn't grow up with it are kind of left cold by it or didn't think it's that funny. But
Hey, Doom, that's that actress. She was on, what is it called? Up All Night USA. Isn't that her? Rhonda something?
Rhonda Shear?
Isn't that her?
She's
She's credited in the movie. Maybe
well,
it's
I
the
guess
other
that
one.
must be her then.
Yeah, I believe that's her. She's credited in the movie. Is it Rhonda Shear? Is that her?
Rhonda Shear, yeah.
The Woman in Diner.
She was hot for the. I mean, she was. She had that Up All Night thing, and she was also in a Playboy layout. Doing a bunch of horror themed kind of pictures. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's her.
I'll have
Wow.
the Cube special.
Nah, yeah. I like that. I like that issue. It was a happy issue. Mike, have you seen this movie?
I have, but you can skip me. I've got a little situation I'm handling here in the back. Real quick.
Okay, Mike, no problem. Douglas, what say you about Spaceballs or Rhonda Shear here? Did she keep you up all night at any point?
Many a night. Well, yeah, this is one of those things where the parody is more appreciated when you're a fan of Star Wars, and even though you're making fun of it, you have the love for it. Well, at least then.
You're right, exactly.
There's no need to do a Star Wars parody today.
Are you kidding? I think that we
parody
should
of itself
absolutely get a
today.
Spaceballs 2 right now.
Oh yeah, I would,
I mean,
hands down. But at this
God.
point, I think Spaceballs is its own thing.
Well, yeah, Spaceballs is more of a Star Wars movie than Disney Star Wars.
Yeah, that's
I would say that.
That's
yeah.
true. That's the conundrum that you would find. It's too bad there wasn't a follow up. I'd always heard that they wanted to do one, and but quite a few of the players are gone now. So
it's true.
It's just too damn bad. But even on the jokes are quite firmly on the nose. I mean, combing the desert and Pizza the Hut. Even at the time when I was saying that, I said, "Oh, come on!" And I guess the suit was as disgusting as it looked for the guy. He didn't want to come back for it.
It burned him. Yeah, he caught him on fire.
You saw, it's like,
Poor
wow.
bastard.
Yeah.
Well, that's how the pizza's made. So anyway, but of course, Daphne Zuniga, boy, man, that's another one of those that was a major crush for quite a while.
Oh yeah,
and should have had more roles. I think it was great. But anyway, just this Rock is fun, and I guess and I hate to say it, but I guess it's true that you had to have been of the era to really fully appreciate it, and that's just a shame. But I think there's enough gags in there to have fun with it. I think it's a fine movie. And it's up there as one of Mel Brooks' best. And because some of his movies, like the Robin Hood movie he did, I didn't think was all that great. It wasn't on par with his previous work, but this one was pretty solid. From Young Frankenstein and all that. And just, your Schwartz is almost as big as mine. And then the scene where he's playing with the action figures. And they come in and he's like, "Oh, I wasn't doing anything." Rick Moranis was a legend. Just great all around.
He is hilarious.
Thank you. in Perrier, you know. So nothing but praise for it, and treat yourself if you haven't seen it. I still think you'll get an appreciation for it, even if you're not of the era.
Yeah. You probably do need to be a Star Wars fan, although those are getting scarce these days. So.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's a lot of other just sci-fi overall. You know, there's quite a few nods here and there. And, you know, obviously the alien scene for John. They didn't tell him. Yeah, we're going to burst your chest again.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, God. They must have paid him. He must have been.
Oh, sure. Yeah, they paid him afterward, but he didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah.
That's why amazing. He said that. Oh, no, not again. I like when they hacked the sound guy off of the thing.
Oh, he did it.
Oh, man.
That's funny.
That should be the poster, right?
Yeah,
right?
That could have been it. Yeah. Let's see. Andy, what do you think of this?
Well, I have to take a moment and put out a public service message here. So,
all right.
As a parent, there's going to be a lot of movies that you saw when you were younger and you don't remember certain parts of these things. And you should probably rewatch them before you give them to your children or your nephews. Like one time when I had my 11-year-old nephew and I let him borrow my Enter the Dragon DVD, and then his mother was quite upset because the boys were just rewinding and watching the boob scenes over and over again. Like, what are you doing showing them this? Like, there's no boobs in that. And I remember thinking to myself, wait a second, I've only watched this thing on TV where it was edited. Well, hey, look at the bright side. At least you know they like them. Well, with Spaceballs, my son was a big Star Wars fan, and he was probably about maybe 7 or 8 when I got the brilliant idea to show him Spaceballs. And when your son turns and says, "Major asshole," in front of his mother, well, you've got some explaining to do.
First Cadet Philip Asshole.
Surrounded by assholes. What's the matter, Colonel Sanders? Chicken? Well, to this day, if you fellas out there are introducing your children to Star Wars, when they get probably a little bit older than 7, you might want to show them Spaceballs, and you'll have, to this day, if my son's standing there, I'll walk up to him and grab him by the neck, and he's like, "What are you doing? Vulcan nerve pinch?" Like, no, it's up much lower down here where the neck. Yeah, and he'll pass out. There's so many quotable lines in this thing, so many things you can revisit. Personally, I think I love this movie, but the dialogue exchanges you can get back and forth with someone from this film are priceless. My son and I, we find ourselves all the time. We'll be doing various scenes throughout this entire movie, and it's just random and it's funny and it's something you get to share. More so than anything, that this movie is so much fun just because it's ridiculous. And you'll never look at Transformers the same way when you realize they can go from suck to blow.
Well, thank you, Andy Masterson, for that. And Paulie, what say you? Have you seen this movie?
I haven't seen it in years. Remember liking it. A lot of fun. Not nearly my favorite Mel Brooks film, but was a good laugh. And I love all those actors, so I think it's something that I need to see again. But yeah, I mean, it's just it just never stuck in there with me with with his
Yeah,
History
I
World Part
understand. I
1.
mean,
Blazing
I don't know
Saddles.
that. I don't know that it's up there with Blazing Saddles or Young Frankenstein, but it's it's a good laugh. It's a lot
No,
of
it
fun.
is. It is. And yeah, Daphne and Zuniga, you had your female representation and who was also a Latina.
Well, there you go.
A hot Cuban mama.
Very, very nice.
Loved her in was it Better Off Dead? No.
Oh, The Sure Thing.
The Sure Thing.
The Sure
Yeah.
Thing, right.
That's how she got the role, Paulie, because that was directed by Rob Reiner, who's very close to Mel Brooks.
Cool. Yeah,
So that was it.
she still looks beautiful to this day.
Yeah.
Yes.
I haven't
She's
seen her
incredible.
lately, so that's
Next
couple
I
of
saw her
things.
on was Melrose Place.
She had a
yeah,
minute
she
there.
was. I think she was
that.
on.
Yeah.
Well, so that is Spaceballs, ladies and gentlemen, the movie that we love, and I'm really glad that we got to go down memory lane on this. Let's go ahead and get to the last of our super chats here.
Super chats, mofo.
All right, let's go ahead and read the rest of these super chats here. I hope everybody's had fun tonight.
Oh yeah.
Jack
Indeed.
White with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Jack. Says, DC, I just sent you another email with links to a bunch of anime series, one of them being the Star Blazers reboot. Thank you, sir. I've wanted to watch Star Blazers. I never have had the chance. But yeah, this would be a good kind of goose to get me along that line. Thank you, Jack White. I really appreciate your knowledge and your patience with me, my friend. Gunstar 1 gifted 5 more Overlord DVD memberships to this channel. Thank you, Gunstar 1. Gunstar 1. Thank you, my friend. Game Biter with a $5 super chat. Thank you. Game Biter says, loved the South Park special, especially the B plot. Just a shame Star Trek was left out of the beatings on account of it being on PP Plus. Yep. Paramount Plus sucks. But not as bad as Disney Plus though. I hate Paramount for what they've done to Star Trek. I will always hate them for that, but I have to admit Paramount Plus occasionally has some interesting and decent stuff on it as opposed to Disney Plus, which almost never does. I think Werewolf by Night and the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special are the only things worth watching on Disney Plus that they've made as a original content. I'll just say that. Gunstar 1 also with a $20 super chat. Thank you, Gunstar 1. He says, today I visited a local Barnes & Noble and bought some Blu-ray DVDs inspired by you, of course. Well, thank you, Gunstar 1. Says, can't wait to get my collection of physical media going. I also bought Horus Rising by Dan Abnett. Can't wait to read it. Well, good for you, Gunstar 1. I would give you a tip, though. Try to find used bookstores or, Goodwills or stuff like that. I mean, you can get great deals on, movies and Blu-rays and stuff really, really cheap. And I like the thrill of the hunt. I always enjoy getting a good bargain, so just a little tip there. Admiral Teague, been a Dominion of mine for 21 months now. Thank you, Admiral. Says, hail Doomcock and crew. Thanks for the info and the lols. You're welcome, Admiral. It's great to hear from you, my friend. A true and loyal Trekkie from back in the day, fighting the good fight to keep Star Trek alive, or at least our memory of Star Trek as it once was. Stone Racket with a $5 super sticker of Bushiba giving a thumbs up and saying, good job. Thank you, Stone Racket. And my best to Harpo and Chico, your two kitties out there in your lair. God bless you, Stone Racket. Thank you, sir. Maji-chan with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Maji-chan. Says, in the words of dang it, Bob Iger, we've got to pander harder. Yeah, Yeah, I think they've pandered about as hard as anyone could pander. They pandered when no man has pandered before. And probably no man will ever pander again because, well, after they see what happens to Disney, they will turn back from that particular spot on the map. Thank you very, very much, Maji-chan. Really appreciate you. Tony Yule, Captain Seagal of the Black Templars with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Tony. Says, shout out to Gina Carano, our warrior princess, and RIP to Matthew Perry. Yeah, we lost Matthew Perry. We lost Richard Roundtree. We're losing a lot of people, folks. I don't know if any of you guys, I was much more of a Seinfeld guy than a Friends guy, so I never really had a big affinity for Matthew Perry. I am sorry to see he went, though. Any of you guys were fans of Matthew Perry in anything?
Mm-mm.
Not really.
No.
Yeah.
Whole 9 yards.
What?
A couple of the movies that he was in, Fool's
Whole
Rush
Nine
In and
Yards.
Whole 9 Yards. Those are two movies that are some of my favorite comedies.
Ah, man. Well,
Yeah. Fool's Rush
the
In.
whole-
Great,
Doomcock.
great little flick.
yeah.
Doomcock, I'm going to appeal to your toxic masculinity. The Whole 9 Yards has Amanda, what's her name?
Amanda Pete.
Amanda Pete, yeah. I was going to say Amanda Pace, but she's older. And there's well, she's not very clothed in her chest area, and it's quite
Oh.
impressive.
She's
Bruce-
hot.
Bruce Willis is hysterical in it. It's a lot of fun. I think you'll like it.
I will check it out, man. Thank you. Thanks. What about
And then-
Daphne? Was she ever in the Altogether in anything?
I'll have to check.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen her like that. I don't know.
And-
Snail Messiah, who's been a Dominion for 23 months now. Thank you, Snail Messiah. Says antidote to Loki, the Almighty Johnsons, a New Zealand TV show. I've never heard of it, man. Where can we see this? Let us know in the chat, Snail Messiah. Sounds good. I've seen some funny New Zealand shows, you know. They have a good sense of humor over there. In fact, I think Flight of the Conchords was guys from New Zealand, wasn't
Yeah, that's a great show.
it? It is
It's
hilarious.
a very funny show.
Very damn funny. Israel R with a $10 super chat. Thank you, Israel. Says, hail DC and panel. Spaceballs is a great movie and fantastic example of great parody / spoof that is more of a fan tribute to Star Wars, which is something that has been lost lately. Mel Brooks nailed it.
Mm-hmm.
You guys agree?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think so.
He cared very much about Star Wars and Star Trek and 2001 and Planet of the Apes. He loved all those movies. That's why the parody works so well.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, those are his words too. He said, "I care so much about these movies." He said you can't spoof something you don't love.
Wow.
Yeah, he was a big fan, or he is a big fan, I should say.
Damn. How about that? I did not know that about
Yeah.
Mel. That's awesome. I'm a big fan of his, and it's good to know that he's so cool.
He used to go to people and get their praise before spoofing them in a movie. That's how much character that man has.
And also, I mean, he was responsible for The Fly. Cronenberg's The Fly.
Yeah,
And,
Eraserhead. Yeah.
yeah, David Lynch directing Elephant Man, based off of Eraserhead. I mean,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Udite One says Zuniga was full frontal in Last Rites.
Hmm. Ooh.
So
okay.
Last Rites is
Hi-yo,
jumping to the
hi-yo.
front of my list. It's first rights
All
for
right.
me. Thank you very much for that, Udite One. Roadhog 1167 has been a channel member of mine, a Dumentite for 9 months. Thank you, Roadhog. Says, oh great, a Druish princess. That's funny. She doesn't look Druish. And Daphne Zuniga, gorgeous as always. Oh shit, she was really, really beautiful.
61.
She still looks good, man.
Still looking beautiful.
Still looking good, man.
Nice. Holy shit. Let me see. Thomas Brown with a $5 super chat. Thank you. Thomas says, I love Spaceballs. I can't eat pizza for a couple of weeks after watching. I need to rewatch it. And the Police Academy movies. You should cover those too. I've never watched the Police Academy movies.
You've never seen the first one?
No.
Great.
You gotta watch you gotta watch the first one. At least watch the first one.
I'll check it
The
out. It's
sequels
really
got
funny.
shitty. Oh my god, you got to watch the first one, man.
The first one's the best.
Yeah,
God
it's got
damn.
Kim Cattrall in it too.
Mhm.
Oh,
So,
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
watch the first movie. Check it out.
You know, I'm really upset. I wish I've always loved Leonard Nimoy. God bless him. But one thing I'll never forgive him for is apparently Kim Cattrall, when she was in Star Trek 6, snuck onto the set of the Enterprise and allegedly took naked pictures in her makeup and everything, like in the captain's chair. And Nimoy found out about it and was furious and confiscated and destroyed the shots.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Destroyed.
Yeah.
More outrage from Paramount.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
He managed to hear about it and saw like a print and just like lost his shit. And yeah. Oh well. Sigh.
Freaking Vulcans.
What a meanie. What a cold fish. TLJ Screwjob with a $5 super chat. Thank you, my friend. Says my favorite line and facial expression in Spaceballs is the "oh shit" the guy says before getting the Schwartz beam to the nuts. Always laugh at that part.
Yeah.
What a dick that guy was, I swear. Thank you, TLJ Screwjob. Nicely said. And Toddzilla with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Toddzilla. Says, I had just hit full puberty when Spaceballs came out, and Daphne Zuniga haunted my dreams for years after that. Side note, I still find the film hilarious. Outstanding. Thank you, Toddzilla. Man, she's hot. I got to go watch that movie again. And Lou Capadona with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Lou. Says, why didn't anyone tell me my ass was this big? Well, it's not an easy thing to do, Lou. It's not an easy thing to do. Thank you, Lou Capadona. And Nate Houstman with a $5 super chat. Thank you very much, Nate. Nate says he's correcting us. He says Rhonda Shear didn't play the waitress. She played a diner customer. She was a brunette at the time.
Hey, real quickly, Doomcock, whatever you do not look at our private chat right now.
Oh, okay.
Okay, don't look at it.
Really?
Yes, I'm serious. Don't look at it.
Oh, all right. I will.
Okay.
I will not look.
Okay.
Lou Capadona, who's been a Dumentite for 14 months now. Thank you, Lou. Says, hail DC. Do you feel that the Panderverse special opened the floodgates of criticism to woke garbage now that the quiet part has been said out loud? Yes. Yes, I do. I really believe that. I think that people are empowered to speak out, and I think that people think it's funny. And I'm digging it, folks. I'm really, really digging it. And I'm hoping that this will be a great change moving forward, Lou. Only time will tell. But, I mean, I think Disney the barbarians are at the gate. And Disney is being slammed from all corners of the universe, and I think it's high time. Only then will change come. All right, guys, it looks like we have come to the end of our particular live stream. So let's go ahead and go around and plug whatever we want to plug. Gary, go ahead and plug away. Anything you'd like to plug, sir.
Check out my channel if you like some of my props and my little pieces of Hollywood history. You can find it at Gary Ambrosia on YouTube. Other than that, kids, come on back every Wednesday. We're going to be here. Hail to the chat. Hail to the wrenches. We love you all, and we'll see you later. You stay angry.
Thank you, Gary. Sounds great, my friend. And next week we will have Mexican Iron Man talking about that earnings call. So it's going to be fascinating. Ooh. Robert Wright, please plug away, sir.
Yes, I started a new channel, Rob Wright's Gen X Pop Culture. I try and do videos every Friday. This Friday, I'm going to have a video on Stand By Me, the movie from the 80s. A great movie. So I'll talk about that and tell you more about that movie. And then don't forget to check us out on Friday Night Frolics. It might be someone's special birthday on that Friday, so we may have some fun stuff.
Whoa.
Friday Night Frolics, but also Doomcock has a magnificent voice. If you guys have never heard him sing, he sounds amazing, especially when he does Sinatra songs. It's fantastic, and we have a lot of fun on there. There's a lot of fun in the chat, a lot of silliness, and it's a great way to unwind after a long week. So join us on Friday Night Frolics.
Thank you, Robert Wright. God bless you, brother. Fet for Hire, you evil genius. You are a hell of a artist and a damn good friend. Love you, buddy. Please go ahead and plug your channel or anything else you would like to plug.
Well, thank you, DC. Thank you so much for having me. I love hanging with you guys. And I am Fed for Hire. Some of you know what I do, many of you don't. If you'd like to know what I do, you can find me here on YouTube at Fed for Hire. You can also find me on Twitter and Instagram at _Fed for Hire. But if you are prudish or easily offended, you may want to stay clear. Just saying.
Yeah, no, your artwork is amazing. You've done so many incredible Doomcock, art and parodies, and it's just, you're so great, man. I there's no way for me to express how much I appreciate your talent and your hard work, and just really, man, you're awesome.
Oh, thank you. I mean, it's my honor to do these things. Thank you for allowing me to do it. Thank you.
100%. We got to have you on Friday Night Frolics for a little segment just to show off some of your artwork, periodically. It's
anytime.
Important.
Anytime.
Thanks, brother. Nick, go ahead and plug away.
Just real quick, I just want to also add Fet for Hire's artwork is tremendous. Absolutely love seeing all of his posts on Twitter, which I refuse to call X.
I know, me too.
Me too.
But yeah, he does some really great stuff. So if you guys aren't following him on Twitter, definitely go check him out. But yeah, I am one half of Echo Base Network, formerly a Star Wars exclusive channel for the most part. But Star Wars sucks under Disney, so we have branched out and we are covering a whole wide range of topics and things now. We'll still hit some Star Wars stuff from time to time if it's relevant, but yeah, we're the algorithm is not friendly to channels that do that when you try to change things up. So if you guys want to help us fight the algorithm and give us a sub and come check us out, we'd appreciate it. And it's always a pleasure being on here on this show with all these great people on the panel. So thanks, Doomcock.
Thank you, Nick. It's always great to have you, brother. And Mexican Iron Man, hail to you, brother. Thank you, mi hermano, for coming on here and keeping us all informed.
Oh, thanks for having me. As always, you're my brother, you're my overlord, and you're my future ruler of Earth. And I call dibs on Burbank and Orlando for obvious reasons. No, what I want to promote is I want to promote Paulie because he's got an Indiegogo campaign for a novella that he's written, and it's open for about another week and a half. So I will turn my time over to Latino Slant, if that's okay.
Sure, no problem. Go ahead, Polly. Plug it away. You're muted.
Oops. I thought that was like automatic when other people were talking. Anyways, Doomcock, thanks a lot for having me on. Everyone in the chat, muchísimas gracias. The panel, you guys are amazing as always. What a great show, man. It's always great to hear your voice, Doomcock.
Thank you,
and
brother.
Again, victory lap. And but one of the tens that we keep claiming is like, let's support indie content, indie creators. So I'm releasing a novella I wrote, and this is like our third day, the end of day 3, and we are over 55% of the campaign just within 3 days, man. It's pretty incredible. It is I would say a fantasy drama with some sci-fi in it, and I know you're gonna be entertained by the story. So yeah, that's really what this campaign is. It's to set up not only all the different costs and all that stuff to set up print on demand and ebooks and all that stuff, but also too you actually get the book in your hands. And so I'm really excited, Doomcock. First step.
Yeah, it sounds great, man. Congratulations. So what are people gonna like? Is it a download? Is it a printed
Yeah.
book? What is it?
So what the novella is the printed version will be 32 pages. It's a novella, like a digest size, very small, which is really cool. Also, too, there's a poster available and an audio MP3 of me and Romy performing, like reading the book for you guys. It's really, really amazing.
Oh, that's awesome.
But the highest level's already sold out, but there's which is great. Thank you. But so for the campaign, you can still get those separately if you want. Those items I just said, but yeah, man, get the book. We're gonna have some artwork of the characters in it, and say you support a Latino slam, but again, it's a really, really different story. I think you're gonna enjoy it, Doomcock.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Paulie. Congratulations, sir. Let's go ahead and go to Douglas Nelson. It's great to see you, Doug. Really happy that things are working out better for you, and we're glad to have you here, and looking dapper as always, man. What would you like to plug today?
Oh, well, let's see. There's the Mr. Nelson Show from RadioMisfits.com or wherever you get your podcast. There's the Nelson Ratings here on YouTube. And then there's the NelsonRatings.locals.com for all the extra Nelson stuff, including my own four-man Mystery Science Theater take on public domain. So we'll see how long that lasts.
That's assholes. I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of you.
I mean, I don't
That's
have puppets or anything. I don't do the Satellite of Love, so I figured that was good enough. I mean, everybody makes fun of movies. I don't know. That's odd, but we'll see what happens. And then, of course, my audio plays that are being adapted into comic books. Night Night, the comic book, you can get a copy of that over at indieplanet.com. Night Night and Sun King, and check those out.
Thank you very much, Douglas Nelson, and aka Mr. Nelson, and Andy. Go ahead and plug away, oh master of mayhem.
I'm not a doctor, but I play one on YouTube. I am the #1 toy maker to the king, Doomcock, where I make action figures and parodies and like Mexican Iron Man de los Muertes.
Oh my God, that's so good.
And I am currently modifying his existing head sculpt to reflect his current weight loss because Mike is getting in shape.
Outstanding. Congratulations.
Here next week, where we will be performing massive amounts of mayhem over the Disney earnings call. We decide what movie of the week we're going to be reviewing, at which time we will send that information over to Set for Hire, who will perform his magic and produce a movie poster quality graphic that advertises it. So we love the most on doing this because we really like bringing the stuff that we like, not just to complain about the stuff that's crap out there, which is important because if you don't call them one, they'll just keep making more.
Right.
We'll be having next week's show coming up soon, and make sure you check out Doomcock Friday Night Show. As Robert said, you'll be very, very entertained.
Thank you, Andy Masterson, ladies and gentlemen, the toy maker of the king. And you've made me so many great things, including little miniature Skull of Calderon, and yes, and of course the Doomcock action figure there, and we also got Frankie Doomcock lounge singer. So. Oh, well, he may not have it around. He's maybe in the lounge singing.
You've got the only one of them, but I do have, there's Larry Dracula.
Yes, I've got Larry Dracula standing over here in the corner.
There's Larry.
Hello, I'm a Jewish vampire. Great to see you.
The miniature Skull of Calderon.
Yes, there he is.
Yeah,
Look at that. It's awesome. Oh, look at him. Look at that yarmulke. It's great. All right. Thank you, Andy. And thanks, panel. Thanks to everyone in the chat. Thank you, all you amazing. Oh, look, there's
Oh wow! He's got...
And last but not least, Doomcock the doll.
That's right.
Stay angry.
Merchandising.
Adorable.
Kiss the helmet. Kiss the
It's
helmet.
magnificent, man.
He did. Yeah,
I still can't get the new head on my doll. I don't know how to. It's not working. I can't.
I'll have to work on that for you. Okay. I'll take care of that.
But anyway, thank you guys so much. Thank you to all the wrenches. Thank you to everyone out in the chat. You guys are the best community on YouTube. I really love you guys. From the center, I hope to see you on Friday for Friday Night Frolics and Wednesday Pop Culture Breakdown. And YouTube is being really, really bad about burying notifications these days, taking subs down. Doing all sorts of chicanery and tomfoolery. So please do check to see if you're still subscribed and click the notification bell. Otherwise, you may wonder where I went to. Doomcock doesn't do videos anymore. It's like you just got removed from the list, folks. From the center of the earth, this is Dictor Van Doomcock and my panel of pop culture pundits bidding you all, my friends, stay angry. Good night, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Good night, all.
Good night.
Night.